What is going on, All-Terrain Nation? Whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, you know the drill. It does not matter what you drive. This is your All-Terrain Nation. I'm your host, David Boyd. And sorry with the glitchy, I pulled the wrong intro. That was the 4K intro, and this software does not like the 4K intro. But what is going on, everybody? I hope you had a great weekend. Clearly, I'm in my Bengals gear. You know I had a great weekend. We took down Kansas City, which you guys aren't here to talk football, but I'm still pumped about that. So Ohio strong there. And speaking of Ohio strong, so tonight we have a good guest. We have a guest that's not just into Broncos. He's into all things overlanding. And I was pretty excited by this because I've been watching him and he does a lot of his own stuff. He seems to just be able to tinker and figure out things. And I wanted to bring that because anybody can put bolt-ons. Anybody can just constantly bolt on stuff, but it's the guys that are just figuring out ways to do things. So let's see if I can do this right. There he is. There's Mr. Milton. What's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me on the channel.
Glad to have you on the channel, man. You came across my channel. I guess it was, I don't know, late summer sometime. You started throwing out some Bronco stuff.
Yeah.
And I was totally jealous for one thing. I was like, damn it, I want to do Bronco things, and to get to kind of live through your channel a little bit was quite fun. But welcome to the show, sir.
Man, this is awesome. Thanks for having me.
Of course, man. And guys, you're going to want to check out Rust Belt Broncos. So after the show, or if you're on your computer, go ahead and smash the like button up there. We got to help my man out here because you got some subs, but we need to get that a little stronger for you, man. So hopefully everybody will join in and help you out there.
Yeah, so, appreciate that.
Of course, man. So I always ask this, and I'm sure it's the same answer usually every time. What brought you to ordering a Bronco?
So I worked for Lebanon Ford as a performance manager. I was building F-150 supercharged and Mustangs for them. When I heard the Bronco was being released, when I was a kid, we had an 88 Bronco. My dad, took it camping. We went off-roading. It was just a huge family adventure. Nice. I have a family of myself, and it was just a big sentimental thing for me that the Bronco was going to be available. So I had just purchased a 2019 Mustang convertible that I was building at the time. And I put my order in. I came home and I told my wife, I said, hey, we just placed a Bronco order. And she goes, well, you just signed the papers for the Mustang like a couple days ago. I was like, yeah, about that. So, and I said, well, I don't really know how long this is going to take to get. Rumors are that it could be, 2022 before I get this thing. And then, so the progression of the Bronco order, here's your tracking number, here's your production dates. And I was like, man, this is happening. This is moving fast. And so I had to start making plans to sell the Mustang. And luckily, Lebanon Ford was pretty generous to buy the Mustang back from me. And then the Bronco came in July of 2021.
Well, so was it the video when they dropped that? Was that the reason? I mean, because that got a lot of people excited.
Yeah. I mean, the video, just the emails, the early registration, getting content out to you. Everybody's like, oh, it's not going to have a V8. And I was worried about that too, because I've never owned a car that didn't have a V8. I've never had a V6. Everything I've had has been a V8. And so I was a little leery, but I was like, man, just being able to get my family into a Bronco like my dad did when I was a kid, that was like the most important thing for me. So I just kept rolling with it. I actually changed my color like you 3 times. I had red, antimatter blue, white, and then the carbonized gray. And I was telling you, Kyle, he ordered the same time I did. And he's like, man, I really want carbon. So I was like, what am I going to go with? And there was an iconic Mustang silver that we were working on doing a wide body on. And I was like, that's my color. So I changed it a few times and then just stuck with it. And I'm happy I did.
Well, Kelly, finally, welcome to the show.
Hi,
Kelly,
guys.
Milton, Kelly.
Nice
Hi, Kelly.
Hi. Sorry, softball called and they didn't. Those boys sometimes talk worse than a bunch of women's.
Oh, yeah.
Women, sorry.
Jeez.
I was thinking cackling hens.
Yeah.
And then I said women's. So, yeah. So, sometimes, and I was the only girl there. And so I'm sitting here going like, I got to go. Like, and it's funny because I remote started the Bronco from there. And 2 guys sitting next to me go, Kelly, what the hell are you doing? We're not leaving for another hour. And I was like, dude, I got to go. Like, I got a video I got to get to. And they're like, you're not leaving. was like, dang it.
Well,
Sorry.
Let me make sure that hopefully you guys can hear Kelly now.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm tardy to the party.
No, you're
So you were you a day 1, day 2, day 3 reservation? How early were you?
I was pretty early. It was a day 1 reservation. Yeah.
Nice. And of course, you said earlier, you're like, well, who knows when you're going to get this thing, which was a big hassle. I mean, part of the fun was knowing, hey, I'm ordering this. The whole nation's ordering Broncos, it seems like. But as a day 1, you had to feel pretty confident that you were going to get your Bronco, right?
Yeah, and the crazy thing about the Bronco was I was actually supposed to get it in May, and everything kept saying end of May, and I was like, well, that's cool because that's my anniversary month, and how cool is that going to be to get it then?
Yeah.
And then it just went ghost. No new updates, no nothing, and then there's rumors started coming out through the dealership that we were having problems getting the tops. Potentially the 2.7 was going to be the problem. So every day I was like, man, do I change it to a 2.3? Do I change it to a soft top? Like, am I going to be happy with that? Because the Mustang's a soft top, and the Mustang, it had a really nice soft top on it. But I was like, no, I'm just going to stick to what I want. I think I'm going to like that two-tone kind of gray and iconic silver match. So it was really hard not to go into the dealership every day where I worked and make changes and tweaks. But I'm glad I stuck to it because I wind up getting it in July.
Right. And, usually I know within the auto industry, it's usually black, silver, and white are the top 3 colors. But I've noticed with Bronco, the silver hasn't been as popular as some of the other colors.
Yeah. I think people were chasing the blue. There was rumors that the green was coming out in 21. So people were just kind of really waiting. I thought the orange was going to be a lot more popular, but I knew white for sure. And I've had those color cars before, and I just wanted something that I didn't have.
Yeah, and I think the silver looks great, and it's a perfect throwback color for this vehicle.
Yeah. And when you scratch it, like when and overlanding and stuff like that, the scratches aren't as prevalent. Like my reds and your blues, they're just gonna have white scratches all over them.
Oh yeah.
I mean, mine scratched to hell, but I mean that's what I bought it for.
I was gonna say, yeah, you buy them to use them.
Yeah. Now I don't go out and take it like in big mud holes, but I do take it on trails, and I do enjoy that.
Well, mud holes to me are just, I hate mud. And it's not
to the point.
It's fun to splash every once in a while, but mud tears up more than you would think. I've rock crawled, never tear up anything. Getting one mud pit, there goes the alternator. Yeah.
Yeah, and for me, like, mud is way too unpredictable. Like, you could think that it's fine, but then before you know it, you're way deeper than you think you are, and then you're having to dig to get out. And of course, we come from the Nissan world where the alternator is right by the tire, so it's like you just kill alternators.
It just sucks it right in.
So we've learned not to do too much wheeling in mud, and plus, I have too many control issues. I don't like.
And the turbos are right in the wheel wells of this Bronco. They're pretty exposed. They're kind of unprotected. So being in the performance world for 11 and Ford, building supercharged cars and trucks, you learn a lot. And that's one thing I'm just not interested in doing.
Yeah.
You're seeing all these videos with people take them in 30 or above inches of water, and they're starting to kill them.
Yeah.
Because you're letting water into those turbos that aren't really sealed for that kind of stuff. So,
or they get hot, and then you instantly cool it down rapidly, and it's just
you're
destruction. Yeah. So we got a bunch of good people in the chat tonight. We got Bronco Wild Outdoors. What's up, Dwayne? Yeah. We've got Terrence Moody, who is always in here. Cigar Tex in Peugeot. We got a bunch of good cast of characters. Valley Dude is in here. Devin A. Houday. And I'm so happy like that. You guys don't know, but Milton here is from Ohio. So I'm curious because you said you were from below
Mason, Ohio,
which is just below
Columbus,
if I could use my words. How is to throw in a football question? How is the excitement up there after that game?
So Sunday after the game, I was like, I gotta get out because the energy was just racing through my blood, and I was like, I can't sit in the house. I gotta go do something. So I went to the gym, And no lie, I'm about 25 minutes from downtown Cincinnati, and there was people at the red lights honking with their windows down, yelling "Hooday!" Just like
Nice.
random people pulling up to the
That's
light.
amazing.
So it was pretty awesome. Just the electric in the town is great, and it's great to be a part of Cincinnati right now.
Oh yeah, man, and that town needs a win. They
Yeah,
like it's a great town, but they just needed something to kind of let people know how great it is.
yeah. Well, I mean, how do you think the Browns feel letting go of Beckham?
Yeah, that's what he got more. I think he had more touchdowns than the whole Browns team did.
Yeah, I think so too. More yardage.
Yeah, just ridiculous. But I'm so happy. Clearly, I have my Bengals gear on, so I'm still pumped to no ends. Like I posted a stupid video yesterday of my reaction and that was so honest. Like I thought I was gonna cry because I've been a fan for a long time, and I remember the '90s. And we were talking earlier. Just remember that town getting a taste of winning, and then it gets tucked. There you go. Well, there's 4 more years we won't win, but
Yeah.
anyways, it's not football night. I know people.
Yeah.
No, I did congratulate him last night because I know it was a huge thing. And he's like,
There
well, I
you
didn't
go.
win it. And I said, but I know how long you've stayed true to this. And the underdog winning is pretty amazing.
Like, because Nashville's fun. We have the Predators and stuff. So it's a fun town to be around when everybody's winning. But
it's not fun when they're not winning, though.
Yeah, I always tell, and I mean, look, you can see it under.
It's
I have my Tennessee shirt under this because I'm still proud of Tennessee. But
there you go.
We went to a couple of hockey games, and I went to a Red Wings versus Predators hockey game one time. Actually, went to 2 different games. Well, I went to one game with my dad, and we won, the Red Wings, not Nashville. And it was just like, or no, it was the other way around when I went. Nashville won, and they were just like the nastiest fans. It was like, wah, 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 wah. And then the next game my dad went to, Red Wings won, and my dad was like, it was a completely different stadium. Like he was like, they were holding their head down and like quiet. It just is. It's like the temperature is just completely crazy.
Oh, definitely. So
and welcome Dr. Detroit. I saw him.
Oh yeah, the doctor's in the house. So what was it like when you found out you were actually getting a build, because you got an early build?
Yeah. So I was at the dealership working, and it was really hard to focus that day. Customers are calling in. They're like, "Oh, excited about their Mustang." And I'm like, "I want to tell you about my Bronco. It's coming in." They're like, so they knew I was going to be selling my performance cars. So like all my customers who've been longtime customers and build customers, they were a little bit upset with me that I was starting to slow down and take a different direction in the performance. But I tell you, the day that was the most important, I was actually there when my Bronco came off the trailer.
Nice.
So early that morning, we get to the dealership about 7 o'clock in the morning, and I worked on the service side putting superchargers on Mustangs, and they said, Milton, we're thinking your Bronco's going to be here in about 4.5 hours. I was like, nah, they're just messing with me. And then the trailer rolls in, and they're like, dude, your Bronco's outside. So my boss is like, go, go, go. So everybody took off running. It was, the first set of Broncos that we actually got to see that weren't the demo Broncos for the dealership. And so we'd actually got iconic silver for the dealership and Outer Banks, and then we lifted it, put bigger tires, the winch and all, but it was a soft top. So mine was actually the first hard top to come in. And at first there was like a lot of hate. People were like, oh, you work at a dealership, you got priority, blah, blah, blah. Well, I worked my butt off for that. you know, 60, 70 hours a week at a dealership, taking customer phone calls late at night. It's just, I was glad Lebanon Ford, thought of me in that way, and they gave me that opportunity to get that Bronco, and it was awesome, man. Watching your Bronco come off of a truck and knowing that's yours, and you get the green MSRP sticker on there, it says special order. I got that framed in the house, and it's just special, man. I'm gonna have this one for a long time.
Right. We wouldn't know what that's like because somehow our sticker came in blue.
Yeah.
Oh, did it?
Yeah,
Yes.
and it ended up in the showroom because it had a blue sticker.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they were told not to detail it or anything.
We didn't want anything taken off that they didn't have to do the
PDI.
The PDI, and they took everything off. The build sheet was gone.
Unfortunately, the build sheet was in it. I did a video where the build sheet and everything was in the vehicle.
Yep.
my
Plastic all over
my
it.
salesman called me and said, "Hey man, your
this your
Bronco
VIN?
just showed up. Like we didn't expect it today. It just
Yeah.
happened to pop. He said I was walking the yard and we saw it.
Yeah.
And they knew I was like one of their only rapid reg orders. So
Yeah, they didn't even know it had shown up because I guess the person that typically takes them in was actually on vacation that week. So the truck just showed up and unloaded them and put them in.
And so we rushed up there, and I was hoping to get it that night. Of course, it's got to go through inspection and all that. And we told him, hey, just leave it alone. I'll take care of all this stuff. And then he's like, well, they've got to inspect it in the bags and stuff. And I was like, you know what? And I've seen so many of these come in with seats being cut or just little things.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I don't care. And I called him back and I said, just do what you got to do. Well, he was actually sick the next day. So salesmen's just grabbing Broncos that they think are just the dealership's Broncos. They had it detailed. It's sitting in the showroom, and then they had it for sale on their website. And I was
that's how we found out it was for sale on our website or on the website, because we had a friend of ours send him a private message and was like, dude, is this your Bronco? And like, for people that know that you've got a Bronco coming in and they're like, oh man, did his financing fall through?
Yeah,
or like
what happened?
All these things that start to go through people's minds of like, why is their vehicle sitting in the showroom?
But I'll say it was actually cool that it was in the I have a bunch of cool pictures of it actually sitting in the showroom. And how often do people get to buy a vehicle that's sitting in the showroom? So that's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like when the guy was unloading mine, I was like, I was real nervous. I was like, I hope this guy knows what he's doing. He's probably driven a semi truck for like 30 years.
Yeah.
And
how many hundreds of vehicles have you seen come off trucks and never worried about it?
Yeah, like because they weren't mine,
Yeah.
But I know what it's like to send that video. That was the one cool thing I really enjoyed about my job is when people would special order that Mustang that they've been waiting for their whole entire life. It was their grandpa had one, their dad had one, they remember as kids riding in their uncle's car or something. And then when they finally get their dream car, it's hard as a grown man not to cry. Like I like text my wife. I was like, I'm getting emotional right now. And she's like, oh, I won't tell the kids that the Bronco came in. And, so like when I came around the corner at the house, I was like tearing up. My son's 3 years old. He comes running out of the driveway and Dad's got his Bronco. And, everybody loads in. It was pretty awesome. So
that is
the opportunity awesome. to get him one of those Bronco Power Wheels. Target got one and they weren't supposed to, and my mother-in-law tracked it down and I went and got him one. So he has one.
Awesome.
Isn't it crazy what you'll do for things like that?
Yeah.
I would have drove 4 hours just to get a Hot Wheel that looked like mine.
Oh yeah. I mean, no, I have some crazy things that I shouldn't buy behind me. The fun of it, some of that is the search.
Yeah.
And if we couldn't have our Broncos, it was like, well, I still want a little piece of Bronco, so I'm going to buy it and just be happy.
Well, and like for him, we got all the stuff except for we had a viewer send us the cars.
Okay.
But we've gotten all the rest of the stuff. And so like every time something would come in, he's like,
we got,
meh. And I'm like, I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the one thing we didn't get sent to us.
Yeah, so we had a viewer actually send it to us, and
oh, nice.
So we've gotten all this stuff, thankfully. But like every time something come in, he'd be like, "Meh," and I'm like, "Dude, this is the coolest thing ever!" Like I have the calendar on my desk, and he told me he's like, "No, I wasn't going to use that. You realize that's a collector's thing?" And I was like, I'm not going to use it. It's just going to sit on my desk and I'm going to like flip it every month.
Yeah.
Put it behind the next one. Don't worry. It's fine.
Did you hear about the calendars though?
Yeah. That some people were missing like Sasquatches on them or missing months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy because I got my Bronco so early. I didn't get the gear, right?
Any of the toys.
No. And so I joined the Bronco Nation, and I'm member number 2627. And I got their flag. So I was hanging that outside and in our neighborhood for a while. And then all the neighbors got excited because they know how like I like to build cars and sell them and get rid of them. So they're all like, we can't wait to see your lifted Bronco. It's going to have like the best wheels. It's going to be so cool. And then they're going to sell it in 6 months. And I'm like, I don't know, guys. I can't I can't sell this one. So I've had 2 broken windshields already.
Oh,
This
no.
thing catches rocks like you wouldn't believe.
Welcome to Jeep life,
Every
because
time
that's
I
a Jeep
hear
life,
something
man.
hit it, I go, oh God, I'm gonna be
Yeah,
in trouble.
yeah.
I'm gonna be in so much trouble.
Well, the worst thing with that, Andrea, thank you so much for that super chat. Andrea,
You say it
I know,
every time.
and then I correct everybody, but thank you for the super chat. Yeah, that's like Jeep life, man, is that
Yeah.
straight up window. And at least the Bronco has a little bit of curve to it. But no, it's
Yeah.
you constantly hear hitting
Yeah.
the windows.
Two windshields in less than 40 days.
Wow.
And I drive 75 every day to go to work, and I mean, you can't miss them. I mean, when you hear them hit, you're like, oh, you just close your eyes, because everybody made fun of me because with the tree limb risers that I built for the Bronco that you'll see on the channel. I built those myself, and they work great on the trail. You know, keeps the tree limbs from hitting your windshields, and lo and behold, we're going to West Virginia, Bear Wallow Pass, and Bear Wallow Trail, and semi truck chucks a big ball of rock and just destroys it.
Oh.
So my buddy's like, well, your tree limb risers don't catch rocks.
Yeah, no, that's
You're sharing the wrong screen, sir.
I see that. I'm trying. Let me fix that.
Rookie moves, man.
I know it's like I've only used this 3 times.
Right.
No, I'm a little nervous because we're supposed to have ours wrapped. And so we, like I told you in the pre-interview, like we got ours late. It started getting into the winter times, and it's like, damn it. I've got a design that's done. I just need to get it printed and put on, but it's like I can't get the stupid thing to get it done in time. And I know as soon as I get it to where we can wrap it, it's just there's gonna be rock chips everywhere, and I'm gonna be bummed.
Yeah, it looks like Dr. Detroit drives 75 as well. I mean, like the front of my hood's all chewed up just from rocks, but you know, it's part of it. At some point, I'll have to get them fixed, but right now we're just really enjoying it.
Right. So I've got your channel up here finally.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Yes, you did. I did like the limb risers and stuff you did. I want to say that might be what caught my attention on. But I like that you have some. I mean, yes, you're Rust Belt Broncos, but it looks like, I mean, you're a little bit of everything too, right?
Yeah. So when I originally first started the channel, it was more based on the F-150. So I deleted a lot of content on there just to keep it towards the Bronco. But I've always been a DIY guy, installing my own parts, like the floor, the raised floor there. Me and my brother-in-law built that, and I've used this floor multiple times already. I really enjoy it for camping. I've slept in my Bronco a few times, and it's a great platform. But that's all leftover hardwood floor from the house.
Oh, nice.
Nice. And guys, definitely go check this out.
We already saw some folks said that they've subscribed already.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. And that's Owen. That's my son.
Nice. Aww. Nice. What does he think? Because a lot of our friends that have children their age, they like the Bronco because they think it's a monster truck.
Yes. Yeah. We've been to some off-road events, monster truck events. But he, you know, every day I go to work, he's like, "Are you gonna take the Bronco?" Because he wants me to leave it with him. You know, he's like,
"Leave it with him to play with."
But every time we go somewhere, he's like, "Can we take the Bronco?" I mean, he truly loves it.
Awesome.
Talks about it every day.
Nice. What does the rest of the family think? Did your significant other, did they freak out?
Valerie was kind of like, she was happy that I got the Bronco because that meant the Mustang was going away. It was super loud and annoying and just no room in it. But she knew how important it was to me, just, you know, given the history of it being in our past, and you know, being a family thing that we did. My girls love it when I take the top off, but we can't go on the highway with the tops off because, you know, it ruins their hair.
Oh, well, Dr. Detroit in our chat, he let us, we did a review on his first edition.
Yes.
And I had told him initially, I was like, look, I just want it for a couple hours. Let me take it out, ride around in it. And we were up in Detroit, and I didn't, he's like, I'm going to take the top off. I was like, no, you don't, I don't want to inconvenience anybody. Like, you're nice enough to let me review your vehicle. It's I'm not inconveniencing you.
He's like, no, it's already planned, and he took the doors off too.
Yeah, and so we get up there, the doors are off, the top's completely off, and we had
to take the top off.
And then he's like, "Hey, you're keeping it for the weekend." I was like, "What? No,
no. We were just gonna take it for a couple hours, do a review, bring it back." He's like, "No. You can leave the Gladiator here, and you take the Bronco." We were like,
okay." I guess
we'll bring it back tomorrow. And he's like, "Dude, take it,"
because we had a wedding to go to.
Yeah,
and
we had a wedding to go to in Flint.
So what made me think of this was, you were talking, their hair gets all messy.
Yeah.
Well, my daughter, we're going down. What was it? We're heading to Flint. I-75 heading to Flint. No top, no doors, and she's in her little nice Sunday-like dress.
I think she ended up putting a hoodie on.
Yes.
Putting it over her
and it was like hair in her face, and I'm having a blast. I'm like, I don't know what everybody's complaining about, but no. It's if you're the backseat occupant, you don't want the
Yeah, because it's I went all the way down to Henderson, Kentucky with the tops off. I got a good friend down there. He owns the red Raptor in one of those videos. And his wife had ordered one, and she hadn't gotten hers yet. They ordered a cactus gray, and they just recently got it last month. But I was showing him all the options on it, and we were going over to his dad's house, and I had the top off, and I'm showing him the radar on the navigation, and I'm like, man, Darren, it's gonna start raining. This navigation's legit. You can see full rain scale, everything. He's like, nah, I can't be that great, and it was like just full down pour. So I'm just looking at him, and we're laughing. We had a couple beers that day, so we just kept driving. We're like, it is what it is. And I have the cloth seats, and they held up great. I mean, they didn't soak up a lot of water.
Oh, that's good.
But it was like a quick 3-minute storm. Then it was over, and then we just drove back. So it's a good time.
That was actually going to be my next question, is how the seats held up. So I'm glad to hear. So since you don't have the washout floors then either, do you?
No.
So did you have water pooling in your
car? So I'll tell you another quick story. I was cleaning the car out one night, and I left my doors open. We were just busy with some other stuff, and I had a pretty good rainstorm that night. Literally, I vacuumed out the floor, and there's no smell in there. So I don't think there's a lot of carpet padding underneath there. I think it's just like a thin layer of carpet. They're assuming that it's going to get wet.
Yeah.
So I would not be afraid of your Bronco getting pretty wet. I've had mine pretty wet a couple of times, and it's doing really good.
Good.
Well, we've done our Jeep that same way. We had the top or the windows down or
accidentally
something.
left the. What was it?
I don't know. I just remember it was soaking wet.
I left the tops off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I accidentally left the tops off, and the night before we had a pretty decent storm actually coming through. And we were getting ready to go out, and I went out there ahead of time for some reason, and I went.
Yeah.
And I was like, I ran inside. I was like, Sydney, go get towels. Like, we need to get this taken care of, because I'm like expecting to get. I say get yelled at all the time. There's such abuse going on in our marriage.
Yeah, I know you're smack me more.
I know I smack you around more than you smack me around. but it was like, I just know I'm gonna get this. Like, you're an adult.
The stink eye. Yeah, you're gonna get the stink eye.
How did you, as an adult, let this happen? Like,
accidents happen. It happened to me. I was more upset with myself than anything. And my wife Valerie, she calm and collectively goes out there. She's got the towels, and she's dampening everything up, and I'm like cussing at myself in my mind, like, you damn idiot. Like, like, how did you let that happen? But it is what it is.
So which model did you said you got? Which one is this one again?
So I have a Big Bend mid package with 2.7 and a 10-speed. I did the 427 rear end with the upgraded e-locker.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put the 4-wheel drive parts lift on it, and 315 KO2s with the upper control arms.
Nice. So you're not playing around.
No, so it's got a really nice stance to it, and it off-roads really well.
Right. So what made you choose that package?
Well, I mean, as you know, there wasn't a lot of options out there for that kind of stuff, but I'm not a pucks guy. I don't like puck body lifts. I think they're damaging for your vehicle. They don't ride good. So for resale value too, if I ever had to sell it or I didn't like that suspension, I knew I could take that suspension off and sell it pretty quickly
Yeah.
and then upgrade to like a Icon or a Fox. But I've trailed this vehicle and right now I don't really see the need to take that suspension off. It rides really good, especially like 70, 75 miles an hour. It's pretty straight.
Yeah.
But I really like it. It rides good. I don't really find a need for the piggybacks or anything like that because I'm not Bajaing it. I mean, I don't think the valve action really needs to be cooled for what I'm doing.
Yeah, I think for most people that's way overkill. Like even the Sasquatch, the small valving they do in that, but then you see, I know Mitchell from Town and Country dropped his video tonight where they had these big valving and stuff, and unless you're really desert running with it, it's not getting over hot. The coolant, it's plenty fine, but it is a selling point. People go, oh man, that's more off-roady, right? That's the thing with Bronco I've noticed is it brought a lot of people who are new to the overlanding and off-roading. How have you experienced any of that kind of coming in the dealership?
What's that?
Have you experienced kind of newer people that's new to off-roading and overlanding?
Oh yeah. And the term overlanding is definitely taking off, and it's kind of one that gets made fun of occasionally because people are like, well, aren't you just off-roading? It's like, yeah, you're off-roading too. But my plans with the Bronco is to go out towards like Utah, Wyoming, long journeys like California with this trailer build that we're doing right now. And when you're done driving, you just pull off somewhere cool. You find a trail, you throw your rooftop tent out, or however you're doing that. Mine's going to be on a trailer because this Bronco is pretty tippy. I don't know if you've had yours on a trail yet, but you're constantly like this on the trail. I just didn't want the added weight on the top.
Yeah.
But being able just to pull the trailer and go camping was pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't trust these tops necessarily for adding rooftop tents or anything either, because I forget what the weight they claim it's supposed to be able to hold, but I won't want that kind of weight up there. Plus, like you were saying, you get off-roading with all that upper weight like that, it gets a little it'll throw you around a little bit.
Yeah, it does. So my friend Steve has one on his Tacoma, and we're gonna get some footage of that here on the channel. He was pretty tippy on the trail quite a few times, and there was quite a few times where 3 or 4 of us got on the back of his bumper and pulled his Tacoma back down to the ground. And it's just all that weight, it's just tipping to one side. But I mean, he weathered the storm through the trail. He went everywhere we did, but you will have more of a challenge if you put stuff on the top of these Broncos.
Oh yeah, definitely. You went with the 2.7. I'm assuming you're like me, more horsepower the better, right?
Yeah, and I felt like torque was going to be the name of the game when you're trailing. So having turbos and boosts, climbing rocks, being able to kind of power brake it a little bit, let the turbo build up, and then kind of bumping it up. You off-road yourself, so sometimes you got to rock back and forth and then give it a good go. I just really wanted that stronger turbo motor to kind of get me over some rocks.
Well, you do that a lot too with it's kind of like a fake rear locker. You're building up, you let that engine build the torque up, and then it just ease off that brake a little bit. It just gives you a little bit, like you're saying, just a little bit of push.
Yeah.
What is your thoughts of the 2.3 though versus since you've gotten some dealer demos, or I'm assuming they're 2.3s, right?
Yeah, I mean the 2.3 will beat the 2.7 off the line.
Really?
For some reason, it has more torque off that second gear. Kyle's Bronco will wax my Bronco from the dig off of a light, and then I have more top end, of course. But I've just never been a small displacement motor kind of guy. And driving the 2.3s that were in the Fusions, I mean, in the Fusions it was relatively fast because it's a lightweight car. I just kind of felt like I would be underpowered in the Bronco, but surprisingly it's really not, especially if you get the manual.
Yeah, well, my experience with the 2.3 was with the Mustang. The first year it came out in the Mustang, and I would race a buddy that had one. He'd just gotten it, and we would take my G35 out and do off the line. He could whip my ass, but it was once it hit about 4,000 RPMs.
I was gone. Yeah.
But yeah, that little engine is off the line. Is very fun.
Yeah.
So you what do you feel between the manual and the auto with that little engine?
Well, I mean, it just really depends on what you're gonna do. I mean, if you're gonna trail it, and you're very confident in having a stick shift vehicle, Steve's Tacoma is a stick shift.
Mhm.
I mean, he goes everywhere we do, but he's driven a stick shift off trail for a long time. But if you're just daily driving, I think it would be fun to have a stick shift Bronco. But me, I knew I was going to be overlanding mine. I knew I'd be off-roading it with my family. So if my kids were
Yeah.
in the back seat, I didn't want to be distracted with trying to find out what gear I'm going to be in and
Yeah.
whatnot. So that's just what prevented me from getting one. But I think, if I was just a single dude, and I probably would have ordered the stick shift with the two-door or something.
Were you like a lot of people disappointed they didn't bring the stick shift to the 2.7?
No, because I wasn't planning on buying one. Now if it would have been a stick shift 5-liter, I would have been all over that.
Yeah. Well, where are you at with that? Because every Bronco guy thought it was going to have a V8, and there was no way. Ford is moving away from V8s. Like, clearly, if the Raptor didn't get a V8 anymore till the potential Raptor R, like Ford's doing away with the V8 platform as much as they can, and the Broncos never got it. Were you disappointed though that it didn't get it?
I was disappointed for probably a couple of weeks until I started reading more about the 2.7, and then I was just comparing it to the 2.7s that were coming into the dealership in the F-150. I knew they were a stout motor, and we never had any problems with the 2.7s. The 3.5, they have cam phaser problems. Everybody's going through that right now with their Raptors and their F-150s. I mean, the 2.7's just been a solid platform. And I knew with some of my friends who do performance tuning, if I ever really wanted to, I could head stud that motor, put bigger turbos on it, and slap a really nice tune in it. I think guys like Innovative Diesel or Innovative Motorsports will be putting some tunes out. You have Oz Tuning probably be putting some stuff out for these Broncos. I know they do some stuff for Ranger and like 5-star tuning. I'd say give this Broncos platform a good solid year and a half, and you're just going to see some cool numbers coming out of these engines.
And even Ford have a tune coming out. I haven't heard the actual release date. I know my dealership has told me, hey, if you want it, you'll be the first to get it. And so Ford Performance does even have a tune for it. Now, I mean, now with Ford, they're not going to go nuts with it. Like
30-40 horsepower.
Yeah. But hey, in this vehicle though, that wouldn't be with the 2.7. That actually wouldn't be too bad.
Right. And then you got guys like, I worked closely with RTR, Vaughn Gittin Jr. He has some cool stuff that's coming out for the Bronco. We did a lot of their stuff at our dealership. And I think the potential there for the motor is going to be pretty solid. I'm going to probably give mine about 30,000 miles on it before I do anything radical to the engine. I typically like to let them break in a little bit, but I could see a turbo upgrade, head studding it, putting a little bit bigger fuel injector in it, tuning it, but keeping the torque high, so you can get those nice revs when you're off-roading.
Yeah, because the turbos in this are tiny.
Yeah, they're small.
If you guys have not seen them, I think me along with everybody else has done videos on this motor. Yeah, they're not big, but that's to keep it from not needing to really spool up. Like, you don't want the dead pedal with that. And so there is a give and take with that, but there's definitely a lot of potential because what somebody had hit, I know this 2.7 is slightly different, but they've hit 500 horsepower in this motor.
Oh yeah, I think a 500 horsepower 530 is pretty doable. I probably wouldn't do it without putting head studs in it. But I would think I think it could hold pretty well. The turbos are pretty small, but if you look back at other cars like Subarus and whatnot that have smaller turbos, they do spool faster. So I mean, if you could find a way to do a sequential turbo like some of the turbos back earlier on in the 2000s that had those, or the 6.7 turbo style, but it's just again all how you're going to be driving that vehicle.
I do have a question. So we have a question that popped up here. So Omnipotent says, can we get more gas mileage with those tunes? Because especially the Sasquatch, like I will say I'm used to what we're getting, so it
Yes.
wasn't out of crazy town for us. But I did expect a little better out of that.
Yeah, mine's terrible. I'm getting like 14.
That's what we're
Yeah.
getting to.
Yeah. When I went from the 31s that were on it to the 35s, I was getting like 19, 20 on the highway, and then
Wow.
it just plummeted. But yes, depending on how you tune your vehicle with the right gear in it, you can see better fuel improvements with tuning an engine, especially adding like things like an air intake, a less restrictive exhaust. But typically you can. It just depends on who your tuner is, and when you talk to them, you tell them what you're looking for, and they can tune around that for you.
Yeah.
You definitely can get some better fuel mileage. But if you say, hey, I just want an all-out race tune, or I need a tune that will rev high for the trail, and I'm not shifting too early, then your gas mileage is probably going to get worse.
Oh yeah, definitely. There was one more I saw there. That did you have something?
Was it the start? Or is it when I started?
I'm not sure. So where are you at though, as far as tuning? Do you think Ford Performance is what they do? Do you think it's going to be for most people if they wanted just a little extra out of it?
Yeah, I mean, it'll probably be somewhere around the $400-$500 range. That's pretty typical. We always
Mhm.
say $1,000 gets you, 10 horsepower.
Yeah.
It's sad to say these days, but I think for the most part, if these viewers get on the Ranger forums and they look at that Ford Performance tune that the Ranger has,
Mhm.
Ford Performance exhaust is a Borla exhaust. It's
Yeah.
labeled right there on the box. So you're getting a premium exhaust. The air intake is generally an S&B air intake. But I think it's worth the money to go ahead and tune it. You may probably only get 1 to 2 miles per gallon better. But overall, you're going to feel the seat of the pants power is what we used to call
Oh
it.
yeah. Well, and then for the cost of it, if it is around $500,
Yeah.
you think about
If you install it yourself.
Yeah, you think about the longevity of the vehicle. Let's say you have it 3 or 4 years, you're going to get your money kind of back out of it with the fuel economy.
Yeah.
Where are you at with the Roush came out with their little package, and
Yeah.
that was, in my opinion, and my opinion is my opinion, your opinion is yours on this, but I was very disappointed with what they are offering for the price.
Yeah. Well, Roush has always been an expensive price.
Mhm.
From experience with working with Roush at a Lebanon Ford dealership, you're buying the warranty. If something happens to that vehicle, Roush does stand behind their product. Their product is R&D pretty heavily, but you're also buying the Roush Racing name as
Yes.
well. And for what you get, I don't know. I'm not a type of guy. You can see my Bronco. I'm not really a type of guy that likes to buy a lot of name brand stuff because I don't like paying that premium price. So I'll do a
Right.
lot of research to try to find a brand that's maybe up and coming or a little bit newer. And I'll try their stuff out because I like to install it myself. But I typically, that's why I ordered my Bronco the way I did, because I knew I was going to change everything on it to what I liked.
Yeah.
So, if somebody is like, hey, I bought this Roush package, I'm going to be like, that's pretty cool because there's not going to be a lot of them.
Mhm.
And if you're happy with, somebody else having the same wheels as you or the same suspension when you go to a car meet or an overlanding meet or off-road meet, that's pretty cool. But I'm the guy that goes, I want mine to look different.
Yeah.
That's why I left the stock wheels on it, because I knew everybody's going to put these huge mall crawler wheels on them, and
Yeah.
they're not going to use it. That's why I had my rock sliders custom made by a local guy here in Dayton, because I knew there wasn't going to be too many people that are going to have those rock sliders. And Andy did an awesome job on those. I don't know if you've seen those yet.
I have.
Yeah, they're pretty.
You did a whole
awesome
video where the design to build up. I remember seeing your video on that.
Yeah.
Which that's another thing. I hope there's more options with rock sliders, because I like frame mounted rock sliders. I'm not a fan of the body mounts, and I know why Ford does that.
Mhm.
It's probably liability for one. They want less liability if it's not attached to the frame, and there's a cost associated with that. But that's the one bummer for me is I haven't seen enough options just yet. And I know there was a company working with Light Bright who I'm not a big fan of them, but
Yeah.
I mean, it does look like a nice option they've sort of come up with, but I don't know
Yeah.
where.
Did you see the video of the white Bronco that was crawling on the rocks and he slid down into that V notch? You can watch his whole door kind of like buckling in like this.
Mhm.
So wherever they mounted that to the frame, I think was too high up. So like when we did mine, we did a little bit lower. We did a square bracket brace on them. And then we kind of did like a 15 and then a 20-degree bend. So they kind of like angled this way. So I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to do this year. Andy has a lot of experience off-roading. He had his Tacoma set up the same way. He actually off-roads a full-size Tacoma or Tundra, I'm sorry. So, but I if you rewatch that Light Bright video, watch the doors. They just go like this.
The nicest way I can say this, I am not impressed with that guy that's with his blue and white Broncos, his wife's Bronco. The way I've seen that guy treat that vehicle is a lack of experience. Now I don't know what his experience level is, but what he
it appears to be.
Yes, and for what he was trying to put his wife through the same thing that this built vehicle was going. There's
going through.
Yeah, there's nothing to prove. Other than they're making fun of that guy, and I don't think he realizes it really, because in that video especially, you just see their face and they're just like, we're just gonna let this guy destroy his vehicle because they're getting paid for it. They're making money on this video,
right.
So. I don't know. I'm not a fan of that whole let's put a cast around tie rods either, because tie rods are meant to break.
Yeah.
You want that to break so you don't break other things. And so
so my observation on that is, and I could be wrong. I mean, I'm new to overlanding and off-roading, but you know, the Bronco Sasquatch seems to be breaking the most. I have a curiosity to why that is. But I haven't seen very many non-Sasquatch ones breaking. A lot of the ones I'm watching are breaking are the Sasquatch ones.
Well, so the guy in Indiana next to you, he broke a lot through just some poor driving.
Yeah.
I did see there was a red one going through a mud pit or something, trying to crawl up some trees. That was a weird. I can't explain that one.
Yeah, I can't either.
But I think a lot of the times people are just putting oversized tires on these things. And yet Ford designed it for 35-inch tires. They didn't design it for 37-inch or 40s. And it's a manly thing to do. I've got to go bigger.
Right.
I've got to. They want to do these things without ever knowing how the vehicle handled before. And you said you were doing a lot of tuning and stuff with trucks and cars. Like, you don't send somebody out with the most horsepower. They don't buy it and you go, well, good luck. Like, that's how people are treating the off-road vehicles, of like, they have no idea what to expect. They go break something and then it's Ford's fault.
Yeah. So when we were building these high horsepower vehicles, I mean, the first thing we would tell them is you need half shafts for this. These half shafts that are coming from Ford on your Mustang, they're really only rated for 500-600 horsepower. We're putting 1,000 horsepower to your vehicle. So we sold a lot of G-force half shafts. The same with the F-150. And then the second thing was oil pump gears. So the 5-liter has a weak oil pump gear in it. So we would tell them, okay, you need oil pump gears and half shafts, because the minute you put a sticky tire on this thing, you're going to hear a nice bang, and you're going to worry if it came from your driveline or from your motor. So, you know, when I off-road my Bronco, I try to take straight lines. I try not to sit here and wiggle the wheels back and forth to get that bite, because that's where I'm seeing these things breaking.
Yes, Overland for fun. I'm talking about the orange
the mud bug.
Which that was just, I feel like that guy was probably trying to show off a little bit.
Yeah.
And it bit him in the ass. And you don't, we were talking, we don't like mud because there's always the unknowns of what's under the water. Like, you can't see exactly, but that guy like slammed it into the side. It was like a side impact accident the way he did that.
Yeah, there was like a rock or a stump. He hit something.
And people don't understand these diffs are not made to be hit like that. Like
Mhm.
all that pressure from that wheel pushing in on it, you're going to just destroy things. We come from the Nissan world where the goofy aluminum diffs they put in these
Mhm.
off-road supposed vehicles, and they just crack in half. And luckily Ford put cast around the gear, the pinion and everything else is aluminum. But yeah, and these are new vehicles. Yes, Ford tested them the best they could, but they didn't test them for every situation.
Right, every situation.
No.
Mm-mm.
The one I'm really worried about is the rear shock location, how they're kind of angled in, and there's nothing really protecting the front.
Yes.
So I think the next mod I'm going to have Andy do for me and I'm having Andy do this because I can't weld. And there's just certain things that I won't do, but I'm going to try to have some braces or some type of skid protection made for those rear shock mounts. I think they're kind of exposed, and then the rear diff, trying to find some slider type protection, because it's very open to that kind of thing. So I think that's my next two things that I'm going to be building on the Bronco. And it's not going to stand out because it's definitely going to be under the vehicle, but I'm into protecting my car, my investment, but also having fun with it. So
sure, because you want to go have fun with it. You don't want to be repairing everything. Repairing stuff on the trails is horrible. It's a horrible feeling, and you don't want to do that.
No,
I don't understand why they didn't copy Jeep on that. Jeep puts the shocks behind the diff or behind the axle itself, and it is somewhat protected. And Ford, yes, they have those so exposed, and it's not beefy. Like the mounts itself are not beefy.
no.
But I've seen some workings of people trying to do some skids for that stuff.
Yeah.
And anything's going to be better than nothing down there.
Yeah, I mean, I like Lauren Healy's one, but he hasn't released them for sale yet. I don't know if you've seen those on some of the cars that he actually races. But I'd like to get a set of Lauren Healy's protection ones back there. I mean, Cambridge is selling some pretty cool stuff, but I mean, it's all high dollar. I mean, you're looking at $2,000 and $3,000 for simple things. I mean, they're taking advantage of the market right now, and excuse me, and people's emotions to buy and get the best for their Bronco. So I'm just kind of chilling on that. I mean, you could build a Jeep pretty cheap.
Yeah.
This Bronco stuff is ridiculous. I'm seeing roof racks for like $2,000, and I'm like, come on, this is.
Oh, man, the Nissan world for that stuff. Yeah, they're $2,500, $3,000 for a roof rack, and you're like, I can build that way cheaper. And
$500 or $600.
Yeah, you add the name Gobi to anything, and it's ridiculously expensive. What are so obviously you liked the thing when you got it. What was something that you instantly went, oh damn, that's not as good as I thought it should be?
The roof.
Yeah.
Well, I hate the roof on a daily basis. I'm not gonna lie. I wish we had an option just to do a solid hard top, because I don't really care to take the top off. I mean, I'd like to have the back where the classic Bronco was, but man, I hate this top. It just whistles all the time. This is my second top that I've had on it, and I've also had the mirrors redone twice, and they still whistle. But it's just, everybody's like, well, we're hating on you because you got the new vehicle and whatever. I'm like, hey, I'm just trying to educate you on some things that I'm having problems with. I'm not saying I would sell the Bronco because of that, but I wish it had a solid one-piece top with the back.
Right, guys, I have 89 people in the thing right now and only 46 likes. If all I ask is if you guys would smash the like button for me, it just helps new people find my channel, so I greatly appreciate when you do that. So the tops, I think the biggest issue for the top is not having the center crossbar like Jeep has.
Yeah,
I think it just lends itself to just a lot of give and take in the middle of that top, and it's a great idea, but it's just maybe not. I know what they were doing. They wanted to say, hey, we have the Mosic area. Jeep doesn't have this. But then you look at the Raptor and they're like, oh shit, we need that for bracing.
I know, yeah. Well, they put two braces on it. So they put the roll bar in the back and then they put the brace in the middle. So I'm hoping that's something that I can also buy or maybe make on my own. I'm pretty sure it's not hard to take a piece of steel and get that knocked out. But I mean, the drivetrain is good.
Mhm.
I pull that trailer with it. It pulls great. Just, the fuel mileage is not great, but that's to be expected with something with 35-inch tires.
Yeah.
And that there's no rear light. If you're in a Bronco at nighttime and you need to get something out of your back seat, you need a headlamp. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just pitch
Yeah.
ass dark back there.
I have a fix for that. I've got a video coming on how I'm going to fix this because it might actually be kind of a fun fix
Oh,
too.
good, because I've got several in the Bronco ladies groups that are like, what do I do? And we've got one of our viewers that's actually in there, Julie, that actually said that she gets one of those, I don't know if you've seen them in the stores. They're just kind of like they're ha switches, but
Uh-huh.
it's a big LED like switch that you could put and you
Yeah.
just pop, it's like a wall
Yeah,
switch.
yeah.
And she just uses it in the back seat. She's
Yeah.
like, she said her partner asked her if she was going to show that picture in all of her Bronco groups.
So I was in the kayak fishing. There's some kayak LEDs that are like half moon LEDs.
Mhm.
So I think what I'm going to do is where that plastic piece runs across the back. I'm just going to drill some holes in there, and then they're pretty flat flush mount LEDs on the back. So it'll kind of flood the light out like this.
Mhm.
And I'm just going to hook them up to our doors and stuff like that.
So Overlanding for Fun is asking, are you going to be at the Super Celebration East?
What date is that? I can try to make it.
April, you got it on the wall over there. April 19th through 23rd.
Yeah, it's
Which you don't have to go for the whole time, but April 19th through 23rd in East Tennessee.
Yeah, I think I do have that one on my books to go to.
nice. Nice.
I think I looked at that. I think it was like a 5.5 hour drive, so it's not too bad.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and you're going to Windrock. It's near Windrock where they're doing it.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Townsend, Tennessee's maybe 20.
Hour and a half, I think, is where it is from.
Oh
because I
yeah, it's on
clocked
the other
it.
side of Knoxville. So
Because it's the other side.
yeah,
It's about an
so,
hour and a half
but it's not.
from
It's not. It's only
Windrock.
long because you got to go through Knoxville.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my dad has a place on North. Like I think that's like an hour from Windrock. So if we need a place to
nice.
stay, we can stay there. But I'm really hoping to bring the trailer down there so we can kind of show some of that DIY build your own kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Which
And,
I want to
you know,
show
still
some of that
capable.
trailer because you
Yeah.
were sending me. You've been sending me build pictures on this. Are
Yeah.
really really cool.
Yeah.
I do, and old man, this is going to lead into your question, but I'm curious where you at with Raptor, because obviously we're both horsepower people. The more horsepower you can have, the better. Which Raptor's known for going to be high speed. Where do you stand with this?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'd love to have the 3.0 in my Bronco. You know, extra power is always fun. I think some of the suspension stuff is cool. I like the idea of that brace. I'm not a fan of the body. I hate the body. I hate the front fenders. Like it looks like an AutoZone stick-on. Why
Yep.
couldn't you just mold that stuff in and make it look right? If you really zoom in on the hood, it's a partial air dam type hood. It's not a full. And I just really I don't like the rock sliders that are on it. And those fenders have to go. I think Jeep has done better with their base Rubicon on their Gladiator as far as body styling than the Raptor.
Well, even the we tested a 392 with the Recon package, and at least they did the little. I know they had to by law, but they just put a little goofy fender flare out to kind of cover the tire, just enough that people are going to take it off.
Right.
But yeah, the fenders on that thing are horrible, and like you said, that front air dam on the side of the fenders looks like it came from AutoZone. I know what they're doing. They're trying to shove as much of the popularity parts on from Raptor into Bronco Raptor, but it didn't need those parts.
No.
It didn't need those fenders either.
No, but the F-150 is now I would buy an F-150 Raptor, and I think the 21 Raptor F-150 is the best one they've ever built. The styling behind that, the interior is amazing. I'm sure the Bronco Raptor is going to have an awesome interior. That two-tone looking perforated leather is going to be super plush and comfortable. I love that they made the dash cluster, all one digital piece.
Which I said that's how the Bronco should have came. It was cool. It was just enough heritage look to it.
Yeah.
But it's very modern. And I don't. That's my one flaw with the vehicle is I hate the tack in the thing. I don't
Yeah.
look. I don't look
I don't
at it.
use it. I don't
No.
look at it.
It's wasted space.
I
Yeah,
proactively looked at it the other day after we talked about it here last week because I was like, oh, I never look at it. Let's see. I guess I'll look at it a little bit, but that's the only reason.
Yeah.
Like, otherwise, I use the digital.
Yeah, there's things about it that just don't make sense to me, but when I've used it off-road and I've used some of the features in the dash cluster, it's really nice, especially when you can see pitch and roll, and when you're following other people in your group and you see a line maybe that they're taking and their vehicle's a little bit more off cantered than what you'd like to be. I think if you could pay attention to that dash, can kind of help you out on what line you need to take.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's going to be well over 200,000. We're seeing Broncos right now sell for anywhere from 80 to 104. I think
Yeah.
there was a race red one that sold for 104,000. That's a rich man's vehicle.
Well, and it seems like Bronco in general is almost a rich man's vehicle anymore. You know.
I know. I got a Big Ben base just because I knew I was like, I'm gonna take this thing out in the woods and I'm gonna beat it up. I'm not paying 60 grand to go out and thrash one around.
Yeah. Did you have anybody try to buy it from you when you got it?
Yeah, quite a few.
Really?
Yeah.
Was there some crazy offers?
I was getting like 10 over.
Yeah.
So not,
Yeah,
not
I
much
think
at
they were
that
just
time.
testing the water.
Yeah.
Well, Kelly had asked me one time. She goes, "Is there a price on this?" I was like, "Everything has a price."
Yeah.
I mean, I love this vehicle, and I can see us keeping it for a long time. But at the same point, everything there's a value to that. And I said, "You get 85 to 90," and I'm seriously looking at the offer. So, but now, I mean,
Over.
yes, over.
Okay.
Oh no, not 80 over what we. But you get what ours was 50.
I'm too emotionally invested now.
54 MSRP, something like that. You give me 90 and it's out the
yeah.
door.
Right.
So anybody that wants to, no, I'm playing.
No,
Yeah.
because we roll. Here's the thing: we rolled some negative equity in my BMW into it, so now
Well, yeah.
you've got to go up a little bit more than that
Yeah.
to justify for me.
Well, my 2016 F-150 crew cab, I got a lot of money out of that thing when I sold it. I couldn't believe how much I got out of it. It had 48,000 miles on it, over 600 horsepower, and that thing was still pulling pretty good money. I think right now with the way that the United States is going with the car shortage, I mean, you could probably name your price just about for anything that you want to sell.
You say that till you own our Jeep Gladiator, and then
you can't get rid of it.
Well, it's only Willie's because I looked at CarMax the other day. I looked at CarMax yesterday, and it's about 47 now that they're selling them for, but like 55, 56 on the rubies that are on there.
Oh yeah. Well, but you can buy them for that. No, my dealership lowballed the hell out of us on ours.
Did they?
Oh yeah, like 6 months old. We paid right around 47 plus taxes and all that.
Yeah.
They were like, "Yeah, we'll give you 40." And I was like, it had like 7,000 miles on it. I'm like, no, I don't think
and
so.
then we drove it down to CarMax and got 43 as an offer.
Yeah, I was like, no way.
Yeah, CarMax and Carvana is the place to go right now.
Oh, definitely. But so is the 3-liter. How are you with that motor in the Raptor?
I mean, with the Explorer ST having the 3-liter, as long as they fix some of their problems that the Explorer ST was having, I think it'll be pretty strong in there. It's just a bored out 2.7. I'm a little worried that they're going to make the walls of that engine too thin.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're really off-roading that, I think we could see some pistons coming out of that thing. I'm not, an expert on building engines or anything, but I think we're going to see some carnage with that motor.
Well, the thing too with Raptor for me is I get what the F-150 is. It's a desert runner.
Yeah,
I totally get that. But you know what? Most of America doesn't desert run.
No.
And now, granted, Ford is like, hey, this is a very limited production vehicle, and they always say that till it starts selling.
Yeah.
And then suddenly they're selling 20 more thousand of this
money
thing.
Talks.
Well, of course. But I think it's for Bronco. It's just a name, really. And yes, you're getting cooler interior, but there's nothing about that makes me want to go off-road that thing.
No, not. I agree with you. It's just like the Shelby Raptor. Have you seen the Shelby Raptor F-150s?
Yes.
I mean, like with the Baja tires. And I made a comment on the forum the other day, and it kind of made some people mad. And I said, not all of us live in Utah or California where we can just go 90 miles an hour through a desert. And,
Yeah.
there are people like us that, trail our trucks in the Midwest and the Mideast, and we have trees and boulders and clay and mud and sand, and you can get snow. We definitely off-road in a different environment than they do. So I'm trying to build my rig around my territory.
Yeah.
And it's been a challenge, but it's also been a good time.
Well, that's part of the fender flare issue with the Raptor Bronco is at no point is anyone taking those fenders off.
No.
You don't buy that vehicle is not. It was a cool idea with the normal Bronco, but for me, the Raptor, it just doesn't make sense.
Right. And if you look at the rock sliders, you can't take those fender flares off. The way that they have them designed to roll into the rock slider, I think if you took them off, they're just going to protrude too far. I mean, on the trails that I've had mine on, I've come pretty close to smashing them. That's when I decided, okay, I really need a set of rock sliders before I take this thing deeper into where I'm going.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. I mean, there's going to be some people out there that'll smash it up because they want to do something for their channel, or they have the money. And it's just, I mean, most of the type of people that you see with like the Raptors, they have Ford GTs or Porsches or 3 other vehicles in their garage. So
yeah, they just
but
want the
kudos
high
to them. I mean, if I had the
Yeah.
money to do it, I would too. So
Of course, they just want the high performance version of the truck,
Yeah.
which is what the Raptor is. But I will say this: T-Rex destroys Raptor. Money for money, pound for pound.
Yeah.
Because the T-Rex to me is more street usable. Like yes, it's made for slightly off-roading and it's really an all-wheel drive vehicle, but the Raptor is such a specific place that you really the full potential of that vehicle. The T-Rex, I just want to run it on the road. I really don't care about off-roading it. I just want to hear that engine purr.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the Shelby vehicles are awesome. I mean, my buddy Darren owns a 2020 F-150 Raptor, and I mean that thing's luxury, man. I mean, it's comfortable, it floats on the highway, it does awesome in the snow. He hauls a few things with it. I mean, it's really not built for towing, but I mean, he's taken it off road, and he's interested in taking it more off-road in our territories. But I told him, I was like, man, that thing's too wide for our type of trail. It's really not made for going through trees and rocks and hair turn.
Right. So Old Man 4494 is asking, Dave, do you think the Jeep will answer the Bronco Raptor, or is the Extreme Recon their last hurrah before going electric? No, I think the Raptor was kind of Ford answering the 392 is what I think that was. I think that's why in December of 20 that all of a sudden Ford was like showing this Raptor or Bronco jumping and, oh, look, we can do that stuff too.
Yeah.
There is, I'm such a horsepower guy and a V8 guy. There is you cannot make me enjoy a V6 like you can that you just hear that V8 jump start. And we got to do time in both the 392 Wrangler and the T-Rex, man. And that's something that Dodge Ram knows how to do. They know how to make a vehicle sound great. Right. And Ford does with the Mustang. Don't get me wrong. Ford, I think out of the pony cars is the best sounding out of the gate pony car. But I just don't think to answer your question, no, I think Ford is happy with the Raptor, what it'll do. I think honestly, Ram Dodge has come out and said, hey, the end is near for V8 anyways.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if you look at the Hellcat, they announced, I mean, I've seen people release their emails that they're getting from Dodge that's saying that, the Hellcat, this could be the last year we see, the Hellcats and the Red Eyes. So it'll be interesting. I mean, I know electric is where it's going. The electric is definitely going to supply the torque for both off-roading and racing. So it's going to be interesting. But I'm with you. Like, if I could get an old school, Ford chop 427 or, nice little 289 with a cam, I mean, there's just no better sound than horsepower.
Yeah. I've got a Chevy 396 sitting in a garage block.
There you go.
It's worth some money, man, but I have no plans really to do anything with it.
Yeah. You can stick it in a Miata or something.
Yeah, that poor Miata.
Yeah.
That was back in the day when they dropped that Miata, of course, through Ford, Ford having a big hand in Mazda, they were bolting those 5 liters directly into those Miatas.
Oh, yeah.
That first generation, ridiculous car, man.
Yeah, those are awesome.
So your trailer now, I mean, you're just not Broncos. You've been teasing me with the trailer, and
Yeah.
So what is going on? What are you starting with? Where are you at?
Yeah, so we took the straight out axle off of it last weekend. We cut the floor out. It's got Timberin independent axle suspension on it right now. I just got my 5 lug hubs for it. We're gonna put a 33-inch all-terrain tire on it, and then we have a rooftop tent that we're also mounting to the top of that vehicle, and then we're going to make a box for the bottom so it can have a slide out kitchen in there, and we're also going to make that where it has its own solar power. So that's my dad there cutting the straight axle off. And then I'm real big into trying to recycle. So I found a company that was throwing away those 2x2 steel trays back there. So I went ahead and I cut all those beams down, and that's the new support for the rooftop tent.
Nice. Well, what made you kind of get this crazy and like, hey, I just need a platform to build from and I'll go from there?
Yeah. So, Facebook is a beautiful thing, and there's a lot of great ideas on there. And I'm a tinker, like you said earlier, and I like to build my own things and recycle as much as I can. So I got a used trailer. We're going to recycle that. And then I just want to see how far I could take it with our craft, and we're going to do some pretty cool woodwork on this. Once the woodwork's done, I'm thinking about taking a torch to it and kind of burning all the wood, and then putting a clear epoxy over its top so it has like that black charcoal look to it that kind of looks weathered. So it's going to be a cool trailer. We'll get some content up on the channel hopefully next week.
Well, so speaking of that, what else is going on with your channel, man? I mean, like I said earlier, you're not just Broncos. What you've been dropping a bunch of cool little videos.
Yeah. So that's the Overland group that I'm a part of. There's some very cool people that I've started to meet. The one that's doing really good right now is that trailer build. It's that second video next to the Jeep. That guy and his wife built this in their driveway, and it's all out of recycled woods, and he hauls it with that F-150. And the coolest thing about his is he has a wet bar in the back.
Oh, nice. But, and the fun of it is getting out there. I know I know with Overland, a lot of times it's the excitement of the build, and then people sort of lose interest, but it's really like, get out there and just enjoy and make the best with what you got.
Yeah. That weekend there was in Cleveland. It was 14 degrees outside. Ooh. We had 39 Jeeps and Tacomas, and I was the only Bronco, but everybody just brought out their homemade stuff, and everything was homemade. And I just like being part of those groups where guys we're meeting each other. We're driving 2 or 3 hours to work on each other's rigs. And, if we got something to give another guy, we'll go ahead and give them those parts. And there's no charge. It's just a brotherhood that we're starting to get to know each other and get to know each other's wives. And it's just a good time. I mean, I slept in the Bronco that weekend. It was 14 degrees, had a 0-degree bag, had steak and eggs in the morning, and, the river behind us. It was just awesome.
Well, yeah, but I'm doing a live stream for the fun of it. So yes. So I don't know if you know, Milton, but I'm going to do a live stream in the back of animals sleep in our Bronco one night, and it was just
Yeah.
for fun. And I was hoping that we would have had it when the weather didn't turn like rainy, nasty.
We were expecting to have it a couple of weeks before we actually
Yes.
got it. So
Yeah.
I think he.
I let the cat out of the bag a
he
little
was-
early.
Yeah, I know, and he actually let it out, and I didn't know he was planning on doing it, or else I would have told him. It's like maybe you hold off on that. Just
Yeah.
a little bit of the conversation.
I'm a
on
Bengals
that.
fan. We're not known to be smart people.
No,
man.
not at all.
No. Yeah. So I got this new sleeping bag from REI, and my wife's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm gonna sleep in the Bronco tonight." And this was in our driveway, and I was like, I wanna see if this thing's comfortable." And she's like, "How about you just test it out on the floor in the house, like next to
Right.
the bed, before you go out and freeze your butt off?" But
No, but that's the perfect time to do it before you go out, and then you're stuck out there with no
Yeah.
idea of how to fix that problem.
Yeah, so Steve, my buddy's Tacoma, his Chinese diesel heater actually overheated, and he lost heat. It was like 14 degrees outside. He's in a tent, so it was pretty cold for him that night. And I was nice and toasty in the back of the Bronco. So
Well, there's nothing like being super cold. I was at Windrock one time,
Mhm.
and I may have told this on the show one time, but the economy went south, and I went back to college for a little while, and some friends were going to Windrock, and I was like, "Hey Kelly, can I go to Windrock?" And she's like, "Look, we really don't have the money for this." I was like, "Look, it's just gas
I was
over there,
the only
basically."
one working, and he
Yes.
was bringing home the state minimum or state maximum. On
Yeah. So
yeah,
I finally broke her down enough, and I
because I
came.
just got tired of saying no.
Yeah,
to
of course,
everything.
of course. But so I pretty usually keep kind of a go bag. I can just bare minimums, and I can go. And my
Mhm.
son and good friend wanted to go with me. I just threw not even thinking, I threw my big 8-man tent in the back of my truck, and didn't realize, it was going to be 40s here in Nashville. No, in the hills of East Tennessee, it was 20s, if not lower.
yeah,
I was free, and I had a cheap Walmart sleeping bag because I just wasn't prepared. I didn't grab any of the good stuff, and yeah,
Because he wanted to run away before I said no. I
pretty
think
much,
is what it
yes,
was.
pretty much. And so
Before I
my
came back and said no.
my son was freezing, and he just kept shoving closer and closer to me, and I'm like, "Please, yes, because you're warm for me too." And I ended up that night, I jumped in my Xterra and just started the engine in the campground. I was like, I'm not going to be miserable. But then
Yeah.
I was nervous about letting the truck run all night long and me falling
Yeah.
asleep.
Or how much money did we spend on
Yes,
gas? You
yes.
restarted the
Oh
truck
no!
that night.
Then we lost an alternator that
Yeah,
weekend.
it was
It was a disaster of a weekend.
Yeah.
But there's nothing like being completely miserable away from home with nothing.
Yeah. There's nothing like it. Yeah, my wife's like, so why do you want to go out and sleep in 14-degree weather? And I was like, I just need to break away from the norm, get a little uncomfortable and put myself in some situations. I used to ride bulls when I was a kid, and I just missed that thrill.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it was just fun. I mean, how cool is it that you can put your beer outside and it practically
Yes.
almost freezes?
Oh yeah.
So,
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, and you were talking about, and Kelly, he knows where Greenville is. He's rode some bulls in Greenville, my town.
That's right.
Made rights.
Made rights for sure. Yes.
Yeah.
But so where is the channel? I mean, do you plan on doing more Bronco like heavy content, or you just
Yep.
whatever I feel like doing is what I'm going to do?
So yeah, I just recently switched jobs, so I'm not with the Ford dealership anymore. I have a little bit more time to spend on the channel and get out and experience the outdoors and in traveling and building with the Bronco. So the trailer is the main focus right now because we can do that in the garage.
Yeah. Well, yes,
but
you being in the middle of winter up there is not the most pleasant place to be outside, really
No,
tinkering.
no. I mean, the windshield is cold. So it's up at my dad's farm right now. He has a pretty good garage, and we're building it up there. But yeah, the channel is definitely going to get more off-road content for this year. Once we hit the spring, you'll see a couple more of those meets with the guys from Tri-State Overlanding. We'll do a little bit more walk-arounds on their builds. To show how they're camping and how we spend our weekends hanging out, and hopefully we'll get a lot more trail footage of the Bronco this year. Some of the admins on Tri-State Overland are upping their camera gear. We're getting drones and just
the military or the militia is coming out.
yeah. Well, I mean, we have some unique vehicles. I mean, everybody was excited to see the Bronco out on the trail. And when we were in West Virginia, even like the side by sides, they're like, "Oh my God, is that a Bronco? Like, I didn't know they were out yet." And
Yeah.
they're following us around the trail just to actually see it off road, and people were taking pictures and shooting videos. So it's pretty cool.
Well, I definitely got one more question for you. So when you got this thing, how many people started coming up to you at the gas stations and,
Oh yeah.
and all that?
Yeah, so we had a couple people like chasing us in a parking lot. My wife's like, "This is just getting weird." Like she didn't want to like get out of the vehicle. And I'm like, "This is normal." And she's like, "You're enjoying this." And I was like, "Well, I kind of am, because it's a lot of fun." So
Somebody asked, "There's the cat." Somebody asked where the cat was a little bit ago.
I answered it. He was
Oh.
sleeping.
Yeah, it is kind of nuts. Now we've been, I hate to say lucky, because it is fun talking to people, but I think because it's been cold, people just haven't been as willing to come say hi
And I
to
always
us.
have RBF, so people don't tend to
Yeah.
come up to my. Even though I'm really nice to talk to, I just don't typically show that on my face, so people don't typically come up.
Keeps
to me.
people away from the Bronco.
Yeah.
It does.
You're our Bronco security system, huh?
Apparently.
yeah, the weird one is if you go into like a gas station, or you go out from a restaurant and you see like people trying to like look in but not put their face. Like I've had random like handprints on my glass, and I'm thinking like, okay, are
What
they
else
trying
have
to
you done?
steal something, or are
just
they
Googling?
looking at it?
Well,
But
that was with Dr. Detroit when he left us his. We're in our hotel with no doors or roof on this brand new vehicle that nobody has seen.
yeah,
We were driving down 75, and this dude in a Raptor come up to us, and he's just honking, just waving his arms like, yeah. And
Yeah.
so we were going to dinner or something, and we were coming down to the hotel, and somebody recognized, I don't know how they recognized it. He goes, "Hey, aren't you that ATN guy?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Was that your Bronco out there?" And I wasn't going to say no, because I didn't want to be getting into it. They're like, "Well, you're just being an asshole now."
Right.
So I was like, "Yeah, that's our Bronco we're testing." And he goes, "There's a crowd around that thing." And I was
Yeah.
like,
And we
"What?"
were like, "Oh no!" And this has no doors, no roof, so we're just automatically going.
People are sitting in this thing. They're checking it
We're
out.
just thinking.
Oh,
it's
they got in it?
worst case.
No,
we were
that's
expecting-
going worse. Yeah.
That's like our worst case scenario in our mind. Luckily, we found a parking spot under like one of the lights in the
Mhm.
parking lot, so we were able to like at least.
Yeah.
Well,
keep
that
it
it's
somewhat
Detroit
secure.
too. So
It
I was
wasn't
like,
Detroit. It was the suburbs.
I was like, it's going to be missing
Not
everything.
8 Mile, but I mean, what else could it lose? It doesn't have doors and it doesn't have a top on
That's
it.
true.
So
Yeah,
like,
and you're
we
not
didn't
getting
leave
the
anything in
radio.
it.
Yeah.
No, we didn't leave anything in it. So,
Yeah.
but it was, and we're like, oh my gosh, there's people all out there. We went out there and there wasn't anybody out there at that point. But it is even in the Detroit area in August, there still weren't a ton of Broncos in the area.
Yeah, there was somebody had told us it was the first one they'd seen, and we're near map.
Yeah.
Like I'm like,
Yeah.
I mean, they've seen them on trucks, but the first one they've actually seen out on the road.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a red one like yours at the hospital that's down the street. Kyle has his carbonized gray one, but I've only really seen maybe a handful, 5. We have a big Dayton Cars and Coffee.
Mhm.
I met a lady up there, Liz. She was pretty cool. She has a Big Ben Cactus Gray. We've become pretty good friends. And but yeah, I think in my area, I've only probably seen 5 or 6.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think we've counted. What do we have? 6 in town now,
we saw
We
a
saw
Cyber
7th one
Orange yesterday,
yesterday.
a Black Diamond.
and it was from a neighboring town, or
Yeah.
like it had been picked up at a neighboring Ford dealership.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were both. I was like, oh, that's a Bronco. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's a Cyber Orange Bronco. And like I looked at the sticker and it was like, yeah, it was Shelbyville.
Yeah,
Tennessee.
somebody released a video on YouTube the other day, or it was either on YouTube or Facebook. In Florida, they look like they had a pretty big Bronco meet, and then I think I saw another big Bronco meet in Houston, Texas. So I'm like, now we know where most of the Broncos went early. To those bigger states like California. Florida,
Texas
Houston.
and California were the top states for ordering them. Well, we
Mhm.
were in Austin. We were doing we had a car thing. We were doing some
Yeah,
reviews
a
on,
journalist.
and we
car
had
test
a soft top just roll right up next to us in Austin, and
Yeah,
this
like
was
it was nothing, and that was
when was that? September.
September.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Yeah.
You're kind of seeing them.
Yeah. Yeah,
But-
you're starting to see them around, but yeah, we know of these 6 or 7
Yeah.
in our town.
And none of them have come said hi to us.
No, none of them.
Yeah. I went to a store to get some adult beverages, and this lady pulls up next to ours, and her husband's like, park next to him, and she's like, why? He's like, because we're Broncos, like we got to stick together, you know. And so he gets out, he's asking me about the Bronco, and I said, so what are your plans with your Bronco? Are you guys, gonna travel with it, or are you gonna take it off road? And he's like, no, she washes it like every 2 days, and it's like a daily driver. I was like, okay, cool. He's like, I want to take it off trail, but she won't let me. It's hers. And I was just like, I don't think I would ask.
Right. Well,
do it.
I love parking next to the Jeeps, and I mean we own a Jeep, so
Yeah.
it's just fun. You see these people that spent all this
I
money
like when we're
building up,
taller than the Jeeps we park next to.
but they spent all this money to put their Jeep on 35s, and I like rolling in this factory looking Bronco just next to them. Like, yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing for me is like I think it's badass that we rolled these trucks off the lot and we've not done anything to it.
Yeah.
Personally, we've not done anything to our vehicle.
Well, we
but
put the 67
it's
designs in.
extremely well. I mean, modifications wise, like we've not done any modifications to it, and I would feel confident.
I have a box of them sitting over here.
Besides beating the thing up, I would be confident of taking it on many trails.
Yep.
Mhm.
So,
Well, guys, go over to Rust Belt Broncos, and I think you've picked up a few subs over this. And
Yeah, thank you. I
Hopefully, you
appreciate
guys
that.
have enjoyed this conversation. We definitely want to have you back on because I
Yeah.
just want to see where I don't care about the Bronco really. I want to know where the trailer's going.
Yeah.
Because it's a dream of mine. I'm too lazy to build a trailer, and I love welding, but it would be half done in my backyard for about 5 years. I'd try to sell the house and be like, hey, that project goes with the house.
he has a Datsun trailer or Datsun
truck bed.
in the backyard that he was supposed to do that he bought at the last house, and we've been at this house 5 years now.
I don't know if you.
It'll be 5 years now.
Hey,
and
it's
we got it for about
pre-rusted.
a year
It
and a
can't
half.
rust more.
Yeah.
It's not on the road.
Yeah,
Oh, man, but
the trailer is going to be pretty cool. I can't wait to take the family out and use it and see what it's capable of doing. And yeah, I'll keep you in tune with it, and I'll send you some more update pictures. And there should be some videos coming out on the channel here pretty soon.
well, nice guys. Go over there and let them know that you, if you're watching the videos, let them know you found them through us. And obviously we're gonna keep an eye on what you're doing, man. So it was good to meet you tonight. I've got some questions here to answer, but guys, once again. Overlanding for Fun's got it up here on the screen. Go over and check Rust Belt Broncos out because you got to support the little guys doing it their way, man. So anybody, once again, anybody can buy bolt-on parts, but it's the creative people that really do the cool engineering. So
yeah, I appreciate that.
Not a problem, man. So it was good to meet you, and I'm gonna remove you from this and answer some questions.
Okay, have a good night.
Hey, who day?
Who day? We're gonna win.
We are. Oh, there you go, guys. That was a lot of fun. I'm not banned from studio. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing here. What is going on, guys? Hopefully you really did enjoy that. I just watching his channel over the past 6 months or so, just kind of like the little guys just doing it their way. And because honestly, coming from the Nissan world for off-roading, we had to do a lot of that our way. There was no other options.
For sure.
But Kelly, I'm glad you actually made the show.
Thanks, guys. Yeah. Like I said, those boys were talking like cackling hens, and I was like, gotta go.
Right.
So.
Well, guys, if you got some Bronco questions or comments, load them up. Kelly's already started highlighting, and the cool thing with this new software we're using is we're highlighting. It's easy to go back to some of your questions and comments. So,
Pavement Ends, since I installed my 67 Designs Bronco rail yesterday.
Nice.
Yay!
How did it go, Pavement Ends? I'm always curious.
Curious
how that went. Let's see.
And Omnipotent Elan said that we are sponsored by 67 Designs.
No,
not sponsored at all.
Trust me, there was a price to pay for that, and I paid it.
Yeah.
And the video didn't recoup that. So, let's see. We got Blueford. I don't know if Blueford's still in here, but Houday for $4.99.
Thank you so much for that super chat.
Yes, the super chats are awesome, man. I do appreciate that because that allows us to do more things, and with the memberships and all that, it's just it's allowing for better software, honestly, stuff that we're using here. Hopefully we produce a better show for you.
It's
And
what they say, you gotta spend money to make money.
that's right. YouTube Car Spotters with that 321. He knows that I like the weird super chats.
I know he does.
Thank you for that. Let's see, Valley Dude, if you're still in here. Question with the auxiliary buttons: are they blue or does the yellow mean on? I want to
They're
say
blue currently.
was
They're
gonna
always blue. For me, I've not used them yet, so
yeah,
know
I
if
don't
they
have
turn to
anything.
yellow.
We have them, but I don't have anything hooked up to play with them at night to know what they do. I'm sure somebody in the comments jumped in, but I didn't want you to think that we weren't answering your questions. Let's see. What do we got here? We've got Jeffrey says today, according to Bronco 6G, the new MIC top fitment issue with chip shortages again. Finally got a 2/16 build date. I guess I can kiss that goodbye. Not necessarily. Bronco 6G is they ran with the Bronco Nation had the Ford Bronco media rep on there, and somebody had asked, it was me. I had asked in their chat about some of the issues they were having, and somebody else had asked, hey, is it still get a soft top to get it quicker? And he answered yes. And he said that yes, there was still constraints on the hard tops
and the tow package.
Yes, and the tow package. And it boggled my mind on the tow package a little bit because you just think basic, well, it's just metal.
Right.
But no, it's the harness,
Yeah.
the specialty harness that you're using. And they want to brag, oh, there's a Ford update bulletin on some of the tops. There's a little spot where they're fixing it. Not a big deal, man. I know Wrangler, you want to go to bulletins, there's always new bulletins out on that stuff. But as far as the top issues, they're not producing at full force right now. They have a second plant that should be online, I think March or April, and they'll be able to crank out about 600 or 700 tops a day, and then we're full bore. So I like Bronco 6G, but sometimes they sort of, when it's a slow news day over there, they like to run with things that are,
if it bleeds, it leads.
Kind of, that really aren't factors at all. Let's see what else we got going on here. Bronco Wild Outdoors asked any engine mod plans. I'm assuming that was for our guest, and he did say he was going to tune it, but he wanted to get 20 to 30,000 miles on it, which I believe he told me in the pre-interview that he was at 12,000 miles already.
Oh wow!
So he's not playing around with the mileage.
Good for him.
That's right. What is old Tim doing there? Looks like All Terrain Nation needs a producer.
That's from when you.
I know.
Went cray cray.
What do we got there, Kelly?
I don't know if Carrie's still with us, but it's got a window sticker showing build date of 127.
Congratulations.
So I hope I can get an update stating that it was actually built. Will I get an email stating that it has? If so, how long after?
Some people
That's
do.
The loaded question.
Some people do. Some people don't. We didn't
get ours until it was already in our driveway.
Yeah, literally, ours said, "Oh, it was produced after we paid for it." So,
yep. We actually, in from a shipping perspective, we actually had the PulseApp app or the website up, showing our VIN number, saying pending as we were looking at it in the showroom. So,
So there's no rhyme to that reason. Ford, I hate to be on Ford with this one, but they're doing the best. That's a pretty new system, this tracking your vehicle, the way they're doing it. There's a lot of hiccups. And remember, their priority is to build vehicles. Some of that stuff, they do throw money at it to fix problems, but maybe it needs a little more attention. Like the website, some of the things, just a glitch in the website of showing a invisible vehicle, and people are like, they're not building the base now. You're like, Jesus, man, there's no official press release. They would do a press release on that one going, hey, we're no longer doing this base model, but we're continuing to build the Broncos. But once again, that some of the sites out there like to run with whatever they have.
Yep. It did.
Oscar says LA in the house. Go Rams. Hey man, congratulations on that win. It was weird though that your Rams had more San Francisco 49ers fans in the stadium than Rams fans. But that was a fun game to watch, by the way.
You already answered that one.
Where we go. Omnipotent Kelly. What now?
How much to have Kelly burn your Bengals outfit?
This isn't that other channel. We don't do we don't hoe ourselves out for money.
We have.
Well,
we did to take the top off, but that was the extent.
Well, but we were going to do that anyways.
Yeah.
but no, I'm not doing anything crazy.
Welcome, Cole, by the way.
Yeah,
He
Cole.
came in while we were chatting with Milton.
I am curious who hit the forward email about the Raptor. Some of the people who, and if you don't know, if you haven't gotten a VIN yet, Ford was and you were on the reservation list, Ford was offering you the first chance to get a Raptor. Now Ford has said they're only doing 5,000 Raptors, and Ford's like, oh, this is to repay. I wrote this down. Let me find this because this was hilarious to me. What they said.
Cole says, "What are my chances for the Raptor?"
So Esteban in that chat says, "This is a thank you to customers who haven't received their builds." That is what Ford.
Yeah, those are the
that
actual
is his
words.
quote. This is a thank you to people that haven't received their builds. Now, how we know what dealers do with markup on a normal Bronco. What kind of thank you is that when you go, oh, I got my Raptor, I'm in the lottery for that. And then you go, oh, it's going to be $60,000 more. Is that a thank you? And should a PR, because this guy's he's part of the brand marketing. That you don't say that stupid
I
stuff.
think that's one of those open mouth insert
Yes,
foot situations,
which I do a
where
lot.
He didn't
I
intentionally.
I do that a lot.
I think in his mind, it made much more sense coming out of his mouth until 3 a.m. that night when he probably woke up and went, "Crap, I shouldn't have said that."
Probably.
Like,
I don't know. This guy's personality is far from having any. Kevin GR says, there are orange paint drops on my trunk tray. And I can't stop thinking about it. Trunk tray. The little plastic tray?
in the back.
Huh, that's weird. I mean, they're painted before anything, so that'd be weird how that happened. Let's see. I hit the Raptor. Jay says I hit the Raptor interest button. Who day? Since he cycles says who day? We day. Esteban is a Muppet. Well, he has to be. That's his job.
corporate.
But that's his job.
That's corporate.
But I think he some of the poorly interviews they did on Bronco Nation early on with him, where it was the young kid, I can't think of his name at the moment. The one that kept walking in front of me every time me and Coder Man tried to film something. But it was just a poorly edited, poorly executed video. And after that, I've just not had a lot of not respect. I won't say that because I'm sure he's a super nice dude and means well. I just felt like it was way too corporate. It was corporate Ford paying this media company who is Bronco Nation to ask corporate Ford questions. So Jordan, yes, Cole, that's it. And by all accounts, he's a nice kid. Like, I don't mean anything bad about it. Go Rams! Cactus Broncos in the house. With her Jeep. She's got a Jeep. She's got a Jeep Wrangler or a Renegade.
How can you be Cactus Bronco 21?
I don't know.
With a Jeep.
I don't know. I don't know. Cat or the Billy Goat.
We
I
still
am
love
Cat.
you anyway. We still love you anyway.
That's right. Red says 214. Where'd it go? 214 build date. You're so close. Hey, and let me, like the person who asked the question about the 127 build date. The worst thing is now after you get that date and you go, and they go schedule for production. Whatever, I can't remember what it says. That's the longest. You think waiting a year and a half or whatever for the Bronco was bad? Knowing your little baby Bronco has been built, and we did where we could turn on the modules and see that it was built.
Yes.
I had a friend over there. He's like, "Yeah, your Bronco's built. We know." And me getting inside pictures, which were super nice of the guys over at MAP to send us those.
Yes.
That not everybody gets. So that's a privilege there that we knew it was actually built.
And that, let me tell you, as much as we appreciated those pictures,
that was
painful.
And the person that did it knows it was. He laughed when he sent that to me. He laughed.
Was so painful, because we knew, especially once the modules popped, it was like, okay, well, those of you that have been with us for a while know that we were getting ready to go to SEMA.
Yeah.
And so we were like, oh my God, it's going to come. It's going to come while we're gone.
Cheers, by the way.
M says, wait, somebody ordered a baby Bronco. No.
I just called mine a Bronco, baby Bronco. Cactus says she ordered. What'd you order, Cactus? Girl, we got to get you on the show sometime.
And Mark Cena 26, thank you so much for that super chat.
Yes, thank you
Appreciate
guys.
you.
Seriously, thank you so. I will be honest. As far as the channel doing, January has been horrible, and by no means am I saying donate anything. Don't donate because I'm saying this, but like YouTube decided like, oh, you don't need to fund a trip to Chicago, is what YouTube said to me. But we're still gonna kick ass.
Speaking of, we're not going to Chicago.
Yes,
just so everybody
somebody had
knows.
asked me earlier today.
So we're not going to Chicago. We still thought about it, but since they released the Raptor ahead of time, there's really not anything
We
that
could
we
go
know of that's happening in Chicago.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna have one there.
But I mean, other than that,
We could sit in it and do our own video around
well,
it.
and the restrictions, I won't say what restrictions,
Yeah.
but you get it. The restrictions that are happening up there within the Chicago city limits,
It's ridiculous
it's just
right
really
now.
challenging. We meet a lot of their criteria to be fine.
Yeah.
But it's just we just
To do
it's gonna be
interviews.
weird, and we would hate for something to happen while we were up there and us get stuck somewhere
Yeah.
or something with everything kind of going on. So
Yeah, Chicago's not where I want to be stuck.
so instead we will be going to Florida when we were going to be going this past weekend to get our bumper.
Oh. Cigar Texan says, I need to find a Bronco Sport this week for my daughter. Does not George, is it
Jorge?
Ah, man. Jorge and them not have any at all over there?
Sports are becoming difficult to find.
Well, because of the chip shortage, because they're basically the Maverick platform and them are all sharing the same stuff. So Maverick, they shut down production. When was it last week? They shut down 22 productions. No more. You can't order anymore. It opens back up for 23s in June.
Wow.
And so yes. Hot vehicle though. Ford has got it. They've got it going on right now. And I'm not specifically a Ford guy, but they've got it going on right now. Because you look at what does Dodge Ram have really right now? The T-Rex, which is ridiculously expensive. Jeep is always going to sell. After that, they really don't have. I mean, yes, the trucks, the trucks are the second best selling truck right now, but they don't have like Ford right now has the F-150, obviously all the big duty, super duty stuff. They've got Bronco, but they can't keep up with production. You've got Bronco Sport, they can't keep up with it. You've got Maverick now that they can't keep up with. Like, it's a good problem to have, I guess.
Yeah.
What you got going on here?
This is what I was looking for. Cole says, "What if Ford imposes rules on Raptor markup for us?"
It's still up to Cole. It's up to the dealership
because they're a private business.
Well, because
they're still a private business.
There's some federal restrictions that dealerships have lobbied for over the years, where they're not allowing. Ford would like to, all these manufacturers, believe it or not, would like to do away with dealerships. I did a video on this a year ago and people laughed at me. And I'm seeing some of the bigger outlets starting to mimic what I was talking about dealerships going away. And trust me, they all want to go to the Tesla model. Believe what you want about Tesla and their goofy dude in a robot suit that they did this past week. They hit a home run with that model. And people are now willing to buy. Look at us with Bronco. We ordered a vehicle we'd never seen.
Yep.
Had never sat in it, anything. So people will do it. They'll buy it now.
Oh man, 4494 says Maverick is a game changer.
It is a game, and it was a game changer that I didn't think was going to be that big of a hit. I'll admit that. I thought, well, they'll sell it, but it's kind of a goofy. What did Peugeot say? It's when all the trucks are blocking the roads into Canada. Hey man,
they were talking about Canada.
Yeah.
And Peugeot says my Bronco's carbonized gray.
Nice.
Cactus Bronco 21 says I saw Maverick here in LA. It is nice. We saw one in Vegas.
Did they have to shoot the homeless out of the back of it, Cactus?
Stop it. Now you're getting political.
I'm not getting political. I just know they have a lot of homeless people right now. Let's see. What else we got going on here,
Let
Kelly?
me pick up at the factory as it drives out the door. Right there with you, YouTube Car Spiders Guide.
Well, Chevrolet does that with the Vet. You pay extra, by the way.
I would totally pay extra to go pick it up.
I think a lot of people would. And I think if Ford were to like really, because Ford's been innovative with the pictures and stuff, as they go off the line, don't think that they're not looking for extra ways to make money on this thing. And I would definitely, if what is it, $1,600 for delivery fees, I'll pay $2,000.
$1,595.
I'll pay $2,000 to be able to go up there and drive my Bronco home in a heartbeat.
And don't think they wouldn't market the crap out of that and make it a whole experience.
Oh yeah, because GM does that. There's a whole you can, I think you pick it up at the museum is where you actually pick it up, and there's a little special gifts you get with it.
Well,
like
that's
that.
very cool.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Red Setter Farm says I have to pass the Wayne assembly plant to get to the dealership, so it better not get lost.
Is your dealership the one in front of MAP? Because that boggles my mind that that dealership that's right in front of
you
MAP.
have to pay $15.95 to
Yeah, and you still have to pay the damn
across the street.
I get it.
I get it too, because we've talked about this, because you have to spread the love.
Yep.
Omnipotent Lawn says, try knowing that 22s are being delivered and your 21 was built before and still hasn't arrived.
I've
I feel
not.
for you, dude.
So Blueford reached out to me a while back and was like, "Hey, can you see what's holding up the December builds?" I cannot get a good answer. I've tried 2 different ways, and I cannot get an answer on why that is. So I have a feeling it's a chip issue of some sort. Because I do want to say, but I think Bronco 6G posted some
I was
pictures
to say that's what I'm hearing rumblings of. and
that
different
the
groups
lots
says
are full
chips.
again of Broncos just sitting there.
Yep, that's what I'm hearing is chips.
But you know what though? How do you deal with that? Let's talk about this a second, Kelly. So obviously I did a video set back in August, I think, saying, hey, there's going to be a problem with 21s being delivered when 22s are being delivered. People thought I was crazy on that one. And how does Ford handle that now? So say you were supposed to get yours in December with whatever issues going on. Say you don't get it till March as a 21.
So what do I think Ford should do about it? I
Yeah.
think Ford should supplement with Ford Pass points. We've talked about this because technically they equate out to money. That would be the smartest, cheapest way for Ford to make the customer happy.
But would that make y'all happy? So if you were one of those that have been waiting, now obviously between the 21s and 22s, it's relatively no change.
Right.
But
you still technically have 1 year older vehicle.
Yeah, but you have a year-old vehicle and you start getting in April and those are just now getting delivered.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and
I think the smart way for Ford to do it would be to do Ford Pass points, because I think that is the cheapest way for them to do it.
I'm curious what our audience would do on that, because I don't know. I don't know. You can't keep buying people off, because those points at some point cost Ford money.
Kevin said Ford gave him a $750 off for the delay.
Nice.
That's good.
Almost half off shipping.
Yeah. So, but what do I think they're going to do? Nothing.
Probably not. Yeah. I mean, I would agree with you, but
I'm glad to hear that Kevin, you got that. Oh, and 110 points, he said.
110 points?
Yeah, was it 110,000? Or 110,000. Okay.
Okay, I was
like, dang, you can't do anything with 110 points.
What's that, like pennies? What's the value of them?
I don't even remember what they said.
What's up, Honest?
Hey.
Look at our latest member. Honest is our latest member.
Yeah, because he had some hacking. His bank
did he?
account was hacked. So that was the member we lost that we weren't sure who it was.
Yeah.
He had his account hacked or something. So he apologized
hopefully,
in the last live stream.
Hopefully that. Blueford says Ford Pass points or 0% financing, or at least a hat. Well, the financing one's a tricky thing because it's all based on your individual, finances and your credit. So I don't know that they can just offer that.
Well, and the other thing I wanted to mention is that I think it's a tough situation because they can sit back and go, guys, we're still in a pandemic. So I think that they can still crutch on that and go, we can't help that the world went crazy. Like, so I think they're still able to use that as a crutch. And I think honestly, they'll be able to use it for a couple of years, because there's we're starting to now see the backlash of April 2020 on some things. So guys, think about how long it's going to take. And we're not going to turn this into politics, but I'm just saying the impact on what it has been or will be on the,
well, we still haven't gotten our points for,
no, we haven't,
for changing from a hard top to a soft top.
I guess I'm gonna have to call Ford customer service.
And I think customer service always says that it's the dealership has to.
Everybody that I've talked to that's ended up getting them that didn't get them from the dealership contacted customer service and customer service pushed them through. At least that's what I've heard.
0% financing for well-qualified buyers, Tim says.
Yeah, I'd like to know what well qualified are because we were pretty well qualified, and I don't think we ended up getting a Ford offer.
And Peugeot says he still hasn't gotten any points.
Wow,
That's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, you do need to hound them. Pavement End says I've already spent my points.
And we've been working on a story that we just can't get our heads completely around how to approach this, of why we're seeing more and more people who ordered their Broncos in November, two-door Broncos with the hardtop constraints, that are getting build dates, and friends of ours like John is not a sniff of it. And it's not just John. I know multiple two-door guys who first day orders, nothing.
Well, and see, I'm in a couple of newer ladies groups, and I am seeing so many because you're not in them, obviously. But
wait, okay.
I mean, maybe you are. I don't know, but I'm in several newer ladies groups, and the amount of ladies that are coming in there and going, "Oh, I'm so excited! I got a build date," and then people go, "What are your specs? What's your order date?" And it's like 3 months ago.
Yeah, I didn't reserve one.
Yeah, I didn't reserve one. I ordered, or they'll be like, "Oh, I reserved in October." No, you didn't. You ordered in October. Like, and I do it very gently, but I'm like, "Oh, you're really lucky because I know day 1 through 3 reservation holders that it's been crickets." So it's, and they're hard tops. Like there's two-door hard tops that are leaving and have these build dates. Like it's just insane to me. So I do have
Cactus Bronco, can we transfer points? No, I think you're going to need those with your new order.
Need them with your new one. But yeah, I need some more research on it is what, and I was actually thinking about
trying
it today.
To get somebody from Ford to kind of they're going to say no comment is what they're going to say.
But I want some statistics to pull together. So be on the lookout in some of the groups for some statistic I'm going to be asking folks for.
Yeah, we reached out to one of our audience and they just didn't want to talk about it, which it's not, I get it, but I'm trying to get some people to talk about it on camera with us.
I would say it's allocation, but I'm hearing people go to the same dealership and like people that are at the same dealership are placing orders and they're getting them.
Yeah,
that's what's very strange to me. It's like the orders were lost or something in the system.
Yeah, and I mean it's not even exclusive to two-door.
No,
except two-door guys feeling it because they're just not building. It's like 8-to-1. So they're just two-door guys just not getting a ton built anyways. So it's a little frustrating to think of anybody. I don't care what manufacturer it is, but you got to stand by your ordering process. You promise people, and at some point could get into a group lawsuit because you promised. Ford it's on record them saying your reservation
number
timestamp means everything. And now they don't talk about that at all.
Except for when it comes to Raptor allocations. Yeah. Now, Old Man 4494 says, "Can we appreciate that Ford is even allowing custom orders at all?" I mean that, and I agree. I'm all about. I appreciate that, but when you overpromise and underdeliver, that's where the issue has been. And when you've got people that are coming in that haven't been enthusiasts as long as the rest of us have, I guess we don't need these anymore.
Yeah, I was going to say, we'll have a guest.
That are coming in now and haven't been enthusiasts as much as day 1, day 2, day 3 folks have been. And to Dave's point, we're promised order of reservations matters. Order of reservation matters, and then you're turning around and
maybe the only thing I can think of too is maybe some of these people have just went to like Grainger. And guys, I'm preaching this over and over and over. If you went to Grainger, who's a great company, I know a good friend of ours bought their Bronco, received it from them, did everything they promised in their lead up to Bronco. They did everything they said they were going to, but Ford changed the process. And these companies like Grainger, who got 600-700 orders, they can't get those. You're not going to see those for 2 years. I promise you that. You're not going to see Grainger all of a sudden get 3 truckloads of Broncos and start whittling down their numbers. So if I were in somebody that was with a company that like that overly promised things, playing by Ford's rules at the time, I would definitely go to another dealership and order the exact same thing, a lesser known dealer that's just going to say, hey, I'll offer it at MSRP. Because double check that as well. Get that in writing. But I would try to just do the exact same order somewhere else.
Yep. I agree. Because that's what I'm seeing.
Somebody was one of our mods must took care of it. Peugeot was asking, or he was saying something about Granger.
Oh. Sean Kirby says 65,000 points worked out to be about $340.
Okay.
I knew there was a statistic, but I couldn't remember. My dealer was allocate 12 and got a total of 5.
Yeah, that's actually probably pretty good. Our dealership has sold quite a few of them. I don't know how or what the deal was.
I'm sorry.
That our dealership has sold quite a few.
Yeah, I can't
think
remember
20.
What the number was.
I want to say it was like
something
20.
crazy. And I don't even think that was counting the customer orders.
No, I think that was including the
Was
customer.
it including ours? Ronnie Roberts says, cool shit happens. I get it. Ford's lack of communication pisses us customers off. I agree, because it's become a rumor mill.
Yeah.
It really has. And that's why we try not to put anything out that we haven't kind of vetted, or if we do say something, it's like, we've heard this from these sources kind of thing.
Yeah, because I do think at some point some of the forums and even Facebook forums, which are a nightmare, I think they just sort of want attention and they just run with things.
Mm-hmm.
And now, why at the time they ran with it, maybe it sounded like it was spot on, but the problem is sometimes being first means you're hurting a lot of people, and it's false news.
Cole says, I bet I got screwed out of a Bronco for attempting the Raptor. I'm going to be curious to see how this happens.
Cole, I know we've talked about this a little bit privately. I don't know on that. I don't know if by you saying I'm in for one, if you don't get, because some of the dealers
lose your spot. I can't imagine you lose your spot.
Because some dealerships are raffling those positions off, which is not what Ford wants. And you know, guys, Ford really with the Lightning tried to ease these dealerships and kind of put the foot down, but there's only so much they can do.
Lone Wolf 1904 says, my Bronco's been sitting at the rail yard in Oregon for over a week at 12.6 build.
Wow.
Trucks.
Yeah, I was going to say
it's even though you came by rail, you still have to have a truck get it from the rail car to the dealership, and that's where my understanding is they're having a lot of issues. There was actually somebody that actually posted in one of the ladies groups that I'm in that actually said that her truck had been sitting at the rail yard for like a week or something, and her dealership just finally was like, I'm gonna go get it, and just went to the rail yard and picked it up for him. I don't know what that means from a liability perspective or what, but I have it on account from more than one industry expert that the chip constraints will likely continue into 23 and won't be fully resolved until 24. That's not surprising.
I think you're honestly into 25.
Yeah.
I think till they get some stuff going here in America, to where we can speed up the process a little bit, that because the world hasn't stopped, and every cell phone, everybody wants the latest iPhone or the latest Android. And unfortunately, you know, they keep gobbling up chips just as much as cars do.
Yep.
Oh, there we go. What's the M say? I know you speculated before, but has Esteban ever been asked why the two doors can't get a soft top? Of course, they'll give a BS answer. My understanding of that is Ford has to sell so many hardtop vehicles to be able to sell soft top vehicles. I know Jeep goes through this a little bit, and I want to say it was Way of Life or somebody talked about this one time in one of their videos, probably about 6 months ago, because they bought a two-door soft top Jeep. And he mentions this, and I believe it to be true, is they have to have
Is it a safety thing?
It is. They have to have so many, it's a percentage. They have to have so many of this vehicle, which is safer than that vehicle, to sell the non-safe vehicle or the lesser safe vehicle. So yeah, that's a bummer, man. Because we were going for a two-door.
Very initially. before I got involved.
Nah, well, you and Luke, but I would still like to have a 2-door. But I think if I ordered a 2-door, it's definitely it would be a black diamond or something. I don't need this one because I wouldn't. Probably the 2-door would be more of a street queen
You
for
know
me.
what that means?
What?
That means the 21 sitting in the driveway would be my Bronco.
I thought it was already your Bronco.
I mean, whatever.
All right, we get time for a few more here. What's going on? What we got going on?
I didn't read it.
I didn't read it. I'm just throwing it on the screen. YouTube Car Spotters Guide says one dealer in San Diego has a demo. They refuse to let anyone drive, but can buy it today, but have to wait 3 months. Yeah, there was a batch of across the country of these dealers are now their initial orders of their inventory they could sell now, and I've seen a lot of auctions on them. At our dealership, the I think it was the owner's wife was driving it.
Yes, in our dealership.
Which is just
as soon as it came in, it didn't even hit the ground, and she took it.
Yep. I don't know.
Cole says, "Can I will my reservation to my grandchildren?"
You might have to. Do we put that in our will? We
don't have a reservation.
No, but I'm saying we go do a reservation.
I'm sure it's non-transferable.
We have the Silverado EV on reservation.
Yeah, but I'm sure it's non-transferable. I didn't read that in the fine print.
No, but they are because Ford had stated early on that a direct family member, some of your buddy in your immediate family, you could transfer that to them. But
the pavement ends now. Did you see how many crashed Broncos Mitchell has at his dealership just from transportation?
I haven't. Did y'all see it was going on Facebook a couple nights ago where somebody was at the back, their spare tire. And they were like,
arrived. Cole's truck arrived. It was unreal.
Oh, nice.
Sorry.
But they could push in on the tire and the door would cave in. And which means they got damaged in shipping or loading, and they backed that thing into something and thought, oh, well, there's no damage because I can't see any damage. Let's move on. And they're gonna have to replace the whole tailgate.
Yeah, and so I responded with a video because I don't even remember where I was sitting. Where was I sitting? I don't remember. I was sitting somewhere that I was parked, and I was reading this video, and I was like, fine. I'll get out and take a quick video of it. And I took a quick video. I was like, ours doesn't do that. I actually got I got an angry comment on mine that I was like, mine doesn't do that.
Why the fuck would people be angry?
Probably one of your trolls.
Yeah. Well,
somebody you've pissed off.
My biggest fear is serious damage to the Bronco. Well, where was that? Serious means months of potential downtime. Yeah. And it's not your dealer's fault either. I mean, I know there's a few of those blown engines floating around where it's taking people a month or so to get it. And you probably should be lucky if it took a month, honestly.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know. I'm dealing with there's nothing wrong with putting a new motor in one, but it would just kind of give me a bad taste in my mouth about that vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
MJL says, how is the power in the 2.7?
Sorry.
I like it a lot. So Kelly took the
yeah, we even talked about them.
Yeah, she had the Bronco out this past week. We were meeting.
Being up for lunch.
Yep, we were meeting up for lunch, and tell Kelly because she texted me and she said this thing will go, and I'm like, you've been driving it for 4 months.
Yeah, but we've been in break-in.
Yeah.
So I haven't wanted to give it a go.
And thank you for that. Thank you for not.
You're welcome, because I'm a leadfoot.
I know.
We talked about this on one of the lives a couple of weeks ago of who was the last one to get a speeding ticket. It was you, but It really should have been me.
Yep.
But yeah, I've been in break-in periods, so I've just kind of been like, oh, let's baby it, don't scratch it, don't do any of this stuff. But I was getting ready to get off the interstate, and this one span, it's just really hard to gauge how much time you have, and it always backs up. There's always people over there, so I was thought about going around, but I didn't. But then I had to get up and go for some reason. And I gave it, and it just, boom, it just went. And I was like, holy shit, that's amazing. Really?
Right.
And then when I was coming home, there was a semi coming on the interstate, and I saw that he was hitting all this road damage that we'd had due to the snow and the ice. We
get one good snow here in Middle Tennessee, and the roads just I give up. They just crumble. The road is I'm out.
Yep.
I tried for you guys, but no,
Yep.
I'm not dealing with snow.
And they just crumble. And I'm just watching all these rocks and stuff, like probably 10 car lengths ahead of me.
Well, and like our guest said, he's already been through 2 windows.
Yeah. And so like I'm automatically thinking, oh my God, here we go. And so I am just like, I saw him coming, so I backed off a little bit. And then he started getting a little squirrely in some of the lanes. And I was like, I gotta get around this guy. So I like took off. I may or may not have been going 90 in Mexico real quick. And yeah, I'm a big fan. And that wasn't even in sport mode. That was just straight up.
Oh, we don't have sport mode.
Well, you can foreskin it.
Foreskin it? Somebody was asking, anybody notice the newer delivery Broncos have the auto stop feature turned off? I haven't heard anybody like that it's only turned on when you turn it on.
I haven't. I know a lot of people would be happy about that.
Yes, I know a lot of America that would be happy with that. Where was
wait, M says go to this one.
wait a minute. I'm looking for Honest.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Honest says, Hooday, sir. Go Bengals. Stay safe. Bad weather coming in 48 hours. Dave needs to sleep in the Bronco. Guys, I have these big box lights that when I do it, I have to have them outside, and we're gonna piss the neighbors off anyways.
Excuses.
What? Nobody wants to see a show and me in the dark. Well, they might. No, that's probably a better show.
That's probably a better show.
But the weather's got to cooperate. But we do have a lot of rain and potential snow coming.
Do we?
Oh, Imp Joe, what are you doing over there? What's he showing here?
You just lost my.
I'm sorry. Stock power to weight. The 2-door 2.7 OBX is better than the Bronco Raptor 3.0. Probably. I wouldn't doubt that. Though I am amazed at how much the 2-door weighs versus a 4-door. Like it's not much difference. All right, sorry, Kelly.
I don't even know where it is now.
And thank you for that, M. Peugeot.
Thank you, M. Peugeot. Here it is. You got
All
lucky.
Right. And what about those seats that are getting messed up, like from the extra hot seat warmers?
I hadn't heard anything about that either. Are seats getting damaged? Is that what we're talking about? Because I will tell you, they burn my butt.
My Jeep though they're just as hot. The Jeep. We need to get a temperature thing out there, like our friends in Colorado.
But then you're comparing apples and oranges because we've got cloth seats in the Gladiator and we've got MGV. I'm just saying.
Why did I bring you in this channel?
I don't know. Because they didn't know what they were missing.
Oh, I see.
Let's see.
I need to turn my seat warmers. Dude, I love it though. My back's kind of hurting. It feels great.
So our daughters will be 12 this summer. And I've been very strict on no, she doesn't sit in the front seat. But this one has allowed her to sit in the front seat a bunch. So I was finally like, okay, I'll be the cool mom. And I will allow her to sit in the front seat. So she, especially this morning, because it was cold this morning. Yeah. And she was like, Mom, I got to turn the seat down because it's hot. And like, I was like, see what you've been missing all this time? Sit in the back seat. She's like, I know, it's awesome.
That's crazy. Bronco Wild Outdoors says it sounds like my drag racing excuses, Dave. No, I want to do it. Like I was ready to do the camp out in there, and then we got that bad storm when I'd planned to do it. We had a bad storm come through. But no, I'd planned to do it. I'm gonna do it. Hell, we may do it. I'm trying. It would be fun. Some people have talked about wanting to do it with me.
I know. Revy said she wanted to sleep over.
Yeah. So
you got to plan for it though. People can't just agree to do a sleepover.
Cigar texted for that.
Thank you.
570 for the P90 I suburb today.
Subscribed? Maybe?
I don't
know. Leslie.
Oh, he's I think he's talking about some guns, some pew stuff.
Oh. Leslie said ordered VB. What?
Wild Track.
Oh, thank you. Velocity Blue.
But, yeah.
Velocity Blue.
Sorry, we're I'm a Bengals fan. We're slow.
Yeah. I'm tired. That's all it is. Ordered a Velocity Blue Wild Track in July. Had to reorder October 17th. It was made January 28th on window sticker. It is MIC top from Canada.
Nice.
Congratulations. Hopefully it'll be there soon.
Nice. I've heard
it was the other day.
I heard somebody
I totally just went Canadian.
Somebody was saying that Canadian dealerships are not allowed to do over MSRP.
I did see that somewhere.
I
I
was
saw
like,
that somewhere too.
it's like no shit.
It might have
That's
been
awesome.
somebody in here.
Oh
yeah,
man.
they're gun talking now.
Oh, talking to pew pews.
Oh, Greg Lawson says I'm going to teach my daughter to drive off road in the Bronco this weekend. How old is
Nice.
she? That's awesome.
Nice. I let my son at
Night, Honest, be safe.
10 or so. Night, sir. 10 or so. Corb was driving the Xteras around a little bit off road.
Yeah.
And then never wanted to drive again. It was the weirdest thing. Didn't get
Yeah,
his my son didn't get his license till he was 18.
Yeah, I don't know how we're such car fanatics and our kids are just like, meh.
I don't know. Sydney might be.
Maybe.
There's hope. There's hope
she
for my
likes
daughter.
faster cars though.
Yeah, she used to love my G35. Like I could kick it.
She said, "Go, Daddy, go!"
Yeah.
Because how old was she when we had that?
3
or 4, maybe.
Yeah.
And this one wanted a G, or not a G35. You wanted the what? The 2-seater.
The Z.
He wanted a Z, and I was like, "You do realize we have a 3-year-old?"
Can you imagine picking your kid up at preschool in a Z?
In the front seat.
I would be the awesomest dad ever.
No, you would be the one that the daycare would be calling me and going, "You do realize your son or your husband just left here with your daughter in the front seat, right?"
And they'd be like, that dude's a sexy bitch.
No. Watch out, you're gonna get yelled at by your verbiage.
My verbiage?
Your verbiage.
Who day?
Pavement Head says, "Sorry, we're full."
Oh man.
Greg says, let's see. She drives from time to time when we go to my brother-in-law's ranch.
Nice.
That's the thing is like you learned to drive really young because you lived out in the country.
Oh, I was driving it around here at 12 years old.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not talking like driving off. I was driving to town at 12 years old.
Like, and I'm from the city. You didn't do that. Like
now you wouldn't do that here.
Now you wouldn't do that here, but there are still farms and everything else that you drive on. And
oh no, my mom would send me up to the store,
get her cigarettes.
Yeah, or whatever she wanted. Yeah. And it's like a chance to drive. Okay.
Good night, Bishop individuals.
Yes, night.
Final
call for questions, by the way. And thank you for everybody who smashed that like button. We do greatly appreciate that. What you got, Kelly? I know you're looking hard. You're looking hard.
Greg's daughter's 14.
Nice.
Nice.
Bronco Wild Outdoors. Good night, sir. Let's see. Couple more.
I'm looking.
Hopefully you guys have noticed, by the way, too, the new software we are using. I'm hoping that pays off. Somebody said the screen even looks better.
Oh, good.
The stream.
Yeah, well,
the stream
and that would
looks
make
better.
sense if it's giving a better quality.
Yeah,
it would make sense. Leslie says a lot over MSRP. My MSRP was 74,779.
I have no idea whether that was true or not, but I did hear.
No, yeah, I heard it was illegal for them to do it over. Oh, overlanding for fun. You shut your mouth.
Oh, yeah. Me and him had a private chat about that. Yes, the Raptor is a pig. I do agree with you. In the show, like, what do you get for all that price? I don't know, because you're getting a heavy. Oh, it can tow an extra 1,000 pounds.
Oh, the pavement ends. We are big fans of curling.
Oh, I love curling.
Yes,
that's my favorite Olympic sport.
We have a friend that lives in Regina,
which rhymes
Saskatchewan.
with
fun. And we keep telling her that she needs to bring us a stone.
Well, I was trying to get her to because they're 26 pounds, I think.
Yeah.
And the stones for curling come from one place in Canada. There's this one quarry they come from. And I want one as a display in my living room, just because I want people to go, what the fuck you have in your living room? But we thought we were going to get a curling rink here, and I would be so happy. It's like bowling, except nicer,
it's similar,
because
but
it's Canadian.
More fun.
And
except it's nicer because it's Canadian.
And to be able to drink beer and be like, I'm playing a sport. Dave, get your face off of the ice. Oh, I can't get up. Eh?
God.
I know. I'm
You
sorry.
totally
Canadians, I'm sorry.
stereotype.
I'm sorry if I'm offending Canadians.
I grew up in the suburbs of Detroit.
It was
so
deadly.
it was
I've seen her
by Ontario.
I seen where she came from. It was deadly.
Blueford, no, we have not heard of curling in Nashville.
What?
If you find a place, please
Dude,
let us know.
We're gonna have an ATN night there.
Heck yeah.
We'll be the only 5 people in that curling place, but we'll be there. There's curling in Nashville?
He said, "Have you gone curling in Nashville? I heard it was there, or
fuck,
heard it was
man?
here." You're gonna get in
Murfreesboro was
trouble.
supposed to get one.
Oh, and by the way,
Oh,
remember,
look, pavement ends. Got the little curling stone.
I know that's why I talked
Oh,
about it.
okay. Ah, damn it. This is a whole I'm so excited. I could talk football, but I want to talk curling.
Speaking of, remember how we were gonna get a kickball league put together here
Yeah.
in Murfreesboro? There's one now.
Well, there's been a
We
couple.
missed the window on that.
Night, Lone Wolf. You have to put your name. Oh. What is Greg asking? You do have to put your name on it because manufacturing, changing configurations from my reading, but I don't. Sorry, Greg. I don't.
No, they're talking. I think they're having a side
Oh.
conversation.
Oh.
Oh
Wait, there was a pavement and something about tourney. We used to do a weekend tourney.
Curl and hurl.
That sounds awesome, man. I really do. I want to try that so bad. I want to get that little freaking broom, and I just want to.
Tell them how they really feel.
I know. You don't have no idea. If there's curling in Nashville, we're totally loading up. We're going to get Jim and Kelly, and we're going curling. What do you need? 1, 2, what is it? 3
No, you need
people or 4?
Oh wait, you need 3 each side because you need
the
broom or
yeah, and then there's one in the target.
yeah.
He's the one. Like he's really giving it. He's really giving it the beans, man.
Ashley Zyke says my grandson is in pre-K and he loves for me to take him in the Bronco. I ask him which one, and he says the big one. I like it better than the Sport.
It's a smart kid.
Go, little man, go.
Do you think they're going to be a V8 in a Raptor Bronco? No.
They missed the chance on that.
Well, so why people are going to ask that is because Bronco R is coming, which is the dumbest name ever. Somebody brought this up to me the other day, and I have to agree with them. So I'm plagiarizing of sorts. Bronco R. The R stands for Raptor already. The Bronco, or no, I'm sorry, Raptor R. So I don't get it. They're going to put a V8 back in the Raptor, but it's going to be a ultra 100K, very limited production truck. And there's thoughts that they will do that for the Bronco. But if they did it for the Bronco, you're getting a 3.5. You're not getting a V8 in that truck. I would love to have a V8 in that truck. It's just never going to happen.
I think it's too light.
No, it's lighter, or it's heavier than the 4-door Wranglers that they're putting 392s in.
Okay.
Cactus Bronco.
Oh,
wait, sorry.
Sir. 2-stroke Aprilia 11 says, "Hey guys, love you guys.
Thank you.
I was told gonna get 200 or
200,000.
Is it no? It says 20,000
points,
but only
8,000.
received 8,000. Stopped at the dealer twice, and they keep saying they're gonna let. So if you only got 8,000, you still should get purchase points, which is like 42,000. I think
some of that depends on, did you do a reservation?
No, it doesn't matter. Any Ford vehicle that you buy, you get like 42,000.
No. But if I'm saying if there's looking for more, I know this.
Oh, the 200,000.
Yeah.
So you should. So this is twofold. So you should get 40. I think it's 42,000 points just for purchasing a Ford vehicle. That's
enough for like 3 oil changes. I think
everybody gets that. But if you're talking about the 200,000 points, that was if you switched from hard top to soft top before a certain date.
Sorry, there's a pussycat between my legs.
But you had to have a reservation on that.
Yeah. And even at that, supposedly some of that is, no, you had to have the dual top.
Yeah, there's some finicky, which I've got to follow up on it because
Kelly will follow up on that and we will report that to you guys what happens.
Cactus Bronco says, "What's the name of your Bronco?"
I was thinking about that today.
Were you?
Well, we always name them after a TV show or something like that.
I still think it needs to be Rebecca from Ted Lasso.
No.
Or Boss Bitch.
No. Wait till the license plate comes in that says not hers.
And then you will see domestic violence on this channel.
It's in this week.
Yeah, and guess who's going to go pick it up? Because it won't be you.
I picked up the last one.
And then there will be domestic violence on the show. You all have been asking.
I've got a box. Oh, wait, you know what? I got to do this.
You all have been asking for domestic violence on this show.
Oh, shit, this is heavy.
Oh, so 2-stroke did register or did reserve. and
Okay.
ordered back in June. Yeah, so I would follow up with Ford customer service.
All right, sorry, Kelly. I'm gonna shoot you there. So I had this parts come in. I'm curious, what do you guys think is in this box from CJ Pony Parts?
What's in the box?
Kelly doesn't even know what's in the box.
No, you didn't tell me.
Actually, there's 2 boxes.
CJ Pony
So
Parts.
here's part of the box. And listen, that's a little shake there. I'll try to shake the big box. Let's see.
Cigar Texan says, CJ Pony.
You can't really hear.
Mobile Moto says, do not Google nude curling.
But
Sold. Not on it.
what's in the box? What's in the box?
So we already have a hitch. Somebody said hitch.
Oh, okay.
Pavement End says hitch.
Catch
Or no, I'm
can?
sorry. YouTube Car
It's a
Spiders guy
tuner?
said hitch.
See, this is what happens. The people that wait till the end of the show, they get the good stuff here. They get the good stuff. Nobody's came close yet.
Cigar Texan says, my Bronco's name is John.
John.
Cole says, name it
John.
Red Rocket or Lipstick.
Oh, Gizmo. So we're watching. I don't know if you guys.
She's a girl.
Yeah, because
She's
you
a
drive it.
badass.
So, but Gizmo is a badass.
Sorry, boys. Girls are more badass.
Or Jackie Daytona. It's Jackie Daytona. I just named the truck Jackie
No,
Daytona.
We got to talk about it.
Nope.
some
It's my vehicle,
more. We gotta talk about
even
it.
though I don't get to drive it. So
We'll talk
Jackie
about it.
Daytona is from one of my favorite TV shows of all time.
I just think it's too trendy.
Nobody knows what it is.
I know.
Oh, so it's trendy?
Yes, I just think it's too trendy.
No, it's Jackie Daytona.
I think it's gonna time out.
Nope. So we watched a show called
What they do in the shadows.
yes, What They Do in the Shadows, and it's season 2.
It's on FX.
Season 2. If you find why I'm naming it Jackie Daytona,
I thought it was the dumbest thing. This was the dumbest show ever. And now
they're like,
we
who
watch it.
cares?
Yeah, they're like, we don't even care about that.
All right, let's open this box.
Somebody says ARB. Somebody says D ring and a spacer. Cactus Bronco says coil springs.
Be a little small for coil springs.
Oh, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Pavement Ends.
What?
Don Quixote's horse's name.
All right.
Miles says K&N air filter. Ashley Sykes says it's a hard top from WISJ.
Yes. It's a hard
Wish.
top.
Oh, from Wish it says. Corrected.
It's a Wish Bronco.
Jason says speakers. Mobile Moto says beanies.
No.
Sean
by the way-
Kirby says I think a Super Duty gets 80K point. Oh, that's
By the way,
interesting.
I haven't seen our trucker buddy.
I haven't seen
He sent
Andy.
Andy, thank you once again for the hats. Andy
Yes.
sent some
He was
hats
here last week.
to our PO box.
We wore him last week and we thanked him.
Well, I was just being nice.
But yes.
It's called stalling.
Yeah, because remember we added him to our Amazon link. Oh, and I did see an order come through tonight, so I will process it.
Oh, we need to find. I've got a link for t-shirts. Difference. So wheel spacers.
Oh, that's right. You told me the other day.
Wheel spacers for the Bronco.
Which
will you go over there?
We had wheel
and-
spacers for my Xterra, but he wouldn't put them on.
Well, because I knew we were going to get rid of it then. But so we are using Teespring or not? Forget it's no. There you go. Look at these wheel spacers. So with the Sasquatch, I wanted.
Oh shoot!
Oh shoot! View store.
I'm working on it. I'm trying to do it with my left hand.
Oh, I see that. Don't give your secrets away. All right. So yes, wheel spacers. So with the Bronco, I wanted just the wheels tuck so well in the fenders. I wanted it just out just a hair more.
Cole says, "Why wheel spacers? Why? Huh?"
So these are 1.5 inch wheel spacers, and me and Luke figure it's just going to put the tire just about a 1/4 inch or so out of the Sasquatch fenders, just to give it a little more stance look to it, I think. But it was $160. You get all 4 corners, and another you're gonna like this.
Cactus Bronco 21 says, "I said spacers."
Yeah, but I think you said the wrong spacer.
Yeah, you said coils with
Yeah,
spacers.
you were talking about coil spacer.
ma'am.
Ugh.
Would you like a woman to do it?
Send a woman to do a man's job? I don't think so.
Cole says, "Oh, you wanted a custom paint design. I get it."
But you get black lug nuts with it. So no more chrome lug nuts.
Cool.
Are you just totally like boohooing my?
Yep.
So there, anyways, there's gonna be a video on this we're gonna do.
Yep.
I'm gonna make Kelly install them because she's being a butthole right now. Hey,
If I couldn't do it,
Jackie Daytona needs this.
I don't like that.
They heard it.
I don't. It doesn't
Jackie
matter. We
Daytona.
didn't agree, and everybody knows how this works.
You don't name my vehicles, and I don't name yours.
How do I add a thing?
What do we add? Oh, okay. So
Oh,
go.
share.
Yep.
How'd that go, good?
It's right here. All right. So Teespring, Kelly's gonna put the link.
Oops. Wrong F11.
You gotta touch that. Ta-da. All right, so we have a few things over here on Teespring. Now we got some really cool custom shirts coming that we're gonna have at Celebration East. But I wanted to get something. I know we have the couple shirts now, but I know people have just been asking for some basic T-shirts, and so we've actually have the cups coming because we wanted to try them out.
I have a wine tumbler coming.
And we'll see how
Dave has a bourbon mug.
yeah, a coffee mug that's gonna have bourbon in it. But did you put the link in the?
I did not.
So we'll put this link in there. If you guys are interested, by no means never feel any obligations to do anything here. Let me.
That's not it.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. That's the creator store.
Oh my
Listen
God.
to the words I say. See, guys, this is what happens when we're here
Yes.
too late.
Yes. See what happens. All right, T-shirts.
See,
Well,
and that's not it either.
hold on.
I told you it's right there.
If it was that easy, why didn't you do it?
I was gonna.
Uh-huh. She may have been drinking.
Jason says, Kelly gonna scratch Dave.
It's something. That kitten's got claws. All right, let's get her back here. Try this again. Anyways, once again, I know some people have asked for this stuff.
Night, Aunt Peugeot.
So there's a few things. Yes, sir. Good night, sir. But if you're interested, it's links here. I'll put it in the description here in the video, and we share it on Facebook a couple times. I'll share it again. But I'm just trying to get. I know some people wanted some stuff.
Cactus Bronco 21 says liking that women's shirt.
Yes, and I made it a point.
He did. He actually said, "I
And
got that tanks. Do you
look,
like?"
Look, and there's colors. The reason I used
You didn't tell me that.
so the reason I used this company for these is because I can offer color, something we can't buy a lot. We're not big enough to have a lot of inventory of anything.
I know. Dad's ready. You're ready to go.
So for the ladies, I wanted to offer some colors, and the guys too. Somebody had hit us up about they wanted a larger shirt that we didn't have in inventory. So let's see what this shirt does. So there you go. Now you can have different color shirts however you want with the ATN logo. And if you're wearing one of these shirts at Bronco Celebration East, you might get a free sticker or something. You come see us. So there you go. So
Cactus Bronco says, oh, really?
What?
It's all the way on the East Coast, and that's what I have to do to get a sticker.
you're gonna fly out here for the free sticker. And also I do have the I don't know that it's on here. We have the new design. I put it on Instagram and stuff. The shirt we're doing. Let's see if I can find it quickly. Here, we'll show those pictures. It'd be a different stream. All right, where you at, pictures? And by the way, I'm taking donations for for this jersey. The NFL thinks a lot of their jerseys. Kelly, oh, I don't know. You already told me no. Let's see. Oh, great meme.
what did
Great-
what did I
great
tell
name.
you that you had to hit? We had to hit 20,000
Yes, you
subscribers
did.
for you to get the jersey.
Like, no freaking jerseys for me, I see. All right, so where's it at? Where's it at? All right, so that is a sticker that we have coming. Should be here next week. They'll be $9.99, something like that. 5 inches wide, 3.5 tall. I think is what I ended up doing.
Massive.
Well, I don't get that a lot, so I'll take that.
Stop it.
But so we got some. That's going to be on a shirt as well. We're going to start selling those. They won't sell till Celebration East, and hopefully you guys come see us over there.
And if these aren't your style, these shirts,
We'll
we
do others.
Well, we do have some still on the website too. We've got the Friends one, and we've got the
Lift Everything.
olive green Lift Everything too. So feel free to check that out too. But otherwise, if there's something you're seeing on this is like, hey, I'd like something different, it's really easy for us to like add products. So on this website, so feel free to let us know if there's something you're missing.
And we will add this design to there after we get rid of what we're having to buy 150 shirts for Celebration East. So 150 of you, can you please come buy a shirt? But there you go. Sorry, somebody was texting.
Celebration East is April 19th through 23rd, but it actually is the 20th through 23rd for attendees.
I think load-in's the 19th.
So load-in is the 19th. So yeah.
We got a big booth there. We're partnered with Lifestyle Off-Road. We go pick up our Lifestyle Off-Road bumper the 10th?
Next weekend.
And Super Bowl weekend, and we were supposed to be in Florida all Super Bowl weekend because my Bengals don't make the Super Bowl. And what happened, Kelly?
I've already broken my mother's heart that we're only going to be there for like 24 hours. She goes, "You're coming in on Friday and you're leaving on Saturday."
Who day?
Because we have to leave. Because of course we have to.
My
have a Super
boss
Bowl
hit me up
party.
today. He goes, "So you're gonna have a pig at this?"
A pig?
Yeah, at this Super Bowl
Does
party.
he
I'm
realize
like,
how much money you make?
yeah, I was like, but I was like, I didn't say I was having a Super Bowl party for you, buddy.
So he wants you to have a party and invite him. It sounds like.
Yep. Cole says I forgot the Bengals existed. I didn't, but I'm like the one fan.
It's true.
I'm a super fan. I love my team no matter what, and usually it's the no matter what part.
Jeffrey Babb says, "What about a pocket shirt?"
A what? Oh, pocket shirt. I don't know that they offer pocket shirts. I'll look into it though.
We'll look for you
because it doesn't cost us anything to put them up here. So
yeah.
Which is part of the. Now we don't make very much money at all on these t-shirts, so there's a give and take to that, but we can be pretty
more
easy
flexible with our products.
We even found they had yoga pants.
Yeah, he had way too much fun trying to create those.
Like right over the
just be
the
done.
cooch.
David Ray.
All right, guys. So whether it be two-wheel drive,
Miles says I reserved my spot for 21 at Supercell. Save me an extra large.
Oh, nice.
Come find us. I'm sure we'll have plenty of extra larges.
Yep, but we got a big booth.
We
It's
do.
20 by 50 booth.
So is that how big it is that I need to cover?
No, part of that's Luke's problem.
Okay, so I only have to cover, what is it?
Half of that.
How big is it?
10 by.
You said 20 by 50.
Yeah. So
I need to cover 20 by 25.
Yeah. So whether it be two-wheel drive,
four-wheel drive,
it does not matter what you drive because this has been your all-terrain nation. I want to say thank you to Rust Belt Broncos for being on there. That was a fun interview. We have.
I thought we were closing.
We have Blind Dog, Overland coming up, and Back Road Driver coming up. So we got some big interviews coming up.
Oh.
What?
Remember we talked to Evolve Tactical a couple weeks ago about them getting 45K over MSRP, get them down to 5K.
Congratulations.
That's amazing.
I mean, I'd like to see you at
I would
over,
like
but
to see you at MSRP, but hey, that's amazing.
yeah, that is a nice deal. Thank you, Cigar Texan. So two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, it does not matter what you drive because this has been your all-terrain nation. What are we, Kelly?
We're out.
Peace, everybody. Love y'all.
Bye, guys.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-bum.